866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nation. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Hey Orlando, Joe Rossi here for Greenway Kia. The new year just got a lot more affordable. With recent Federal Reserve rate cuts, interest rates are coming down, as low as 0% APR. If you've been waiting to upgrade, now's the time. Greenway has financing options designed to take advantage of today's lower rates. Even if you have less than perfect credit. See what's available now at greenwaykias.com. I'm Joe Rossi, and I want to see you in a Greenway Kia.
With approved credit. Offers expire 2/5/26.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Do you like beer? Join Orlando's Science Center for the Science on Tap Outdoor Beer Festival, coming to Lock Haven Park Saturday, January 24th. Families are welcome for this daytime event. Sample local breweries, plus food trucks, music, lawn games, and more. Tickets at osc.org.
iHeartMedia presents the Fresh from Florida Groceries Giveaway. 50 lucky winners will each receive a $100 grocery voucher to indulge in Fresh from Florida goodness. Enter to win at iHeart.com/freshfromflorida.
Ugh, time to clean out the gutters again.
But I don't want you climbing that ladder.
Time to call Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection company. Leaf Filter's trusted pros will not only clean your gutters for you, they'll realign and seal your gutters and install Leaf Filter. With Leaf Filter, you'll never have to clean out your gutters again.
Wait, never again?
Never again. Because Leaf Filter's surgical-grade stainless steel micromesh is fine enough to block even tiny debris like pine needles and pollen while still letting rainwater flow through. Leaf Filter works so well, it's backed by a lifetime warranty. Plus, when you go to leaffilter.com/block, you'll get a free gutter inspection and up to 30% off.
Wow. So no more climbing that ladder.
How do I sign up?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/block for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/block for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/block.
This is the sound of Lucy, staying on top of her spending. You see, even though she's buying a new pair of jeans, she knows that it fits within her monthly budget. Because Wells Fargo will send an alert if her balance drops below her set amount. Yep, nothing gets past Lucy, or Wells Fargo for that matter. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Oh, hump day.
Reviews are the worst, and it's always great to have a seasoned professional ready to go if you happen to run into those problems. Enter Modern Plumbing Industries. From houses to high-rises, these guys are Central Florida's plumbing company. Employee-owned and in business since 1975. Their integrity and workmanship are second to none, and they have some great deals as well. If you mention the Jim Colbert Show, you'll receive $50 off your service call. Book your appointment today at 407-327-6000 or hop online at modernpi.com.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Happy, Happy. Happy. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. Lots to get to today. From your $2,000 tariff checks to Steak and Shake makes a very controversial move. And bundle up. It's about to get dangerously cold in the United States. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. Send us a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Wednesday?
Not bad. Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Hanging in there, as best as can be. Somebody said Wednesday should be Share the Show Wednesday, so maybe this is the first. Just if you're wearing any merch, give us a photo dispatch of that. What I say? Share the show? Yeah. No, I meant wear the show. Sorry. I'm flustered this morning. I try to get everything done just in the nick of time here, because I gave myself some extra work this morning. But yeah, wear the show Wednesday. If you got any merch on from the show, let's see that today. Upload it as a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, we got a lot of ground to cover. Let's see here. Let's start off as we always do. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse, and let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to the world of basketball.
Yeah.
That's right, baby. Shooting threes and dropping
D's.
Alley-oops.
Is that the right phrase?
We're on the court, and we know what's going on in the world of all things sports, as you know from listening to this show. Not really. And in this case, you had a basketball game. The Wizards were playing. And during the basketball game, there was a bit of an error on the screen. Now, many of you will not be able to see this, obviously, because of the constraints of the format, but I'll explain to you what happened. For some reason, don't know why, don't know how, but they put like a duck on the screen. They went from the basketball game, and all of a sudden there's a duck on the screen, and the commentators did not know what to do with themselves.
Would you know what to do?
Yes.
Yep.
If they put up a duck right now on the screen during our stream, I'd just flow. I'd flow somehow, I think.
It's quacky time.
Let's see how they handled it. Here we go.
Get right in on the inside. And then there we go.
Oh, they're losing it. Okay. Whatever I said I would do, they're not holding it together here. They're losing it. They flashed up a duck on the screen.
Yeah, randomly. I thought maybe like a duck animation, cartoon duck holding a basketball, but it's just a beautiful picture of ducks drinking water.
To be clear, am I right? Is that a duck? Are we looking at a duck?
Could
Could
be a
mallard. I don't know. Some sort of duck-like bird. We'll say it's a duckish bird, a goose, something in that neighborhood. And they flash it up on the screen for just a moment during the broadcast, and the guys are like, "What the hell was that? What's going on?" Somebody says it's a goose.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, they're having a time.
Yeah. They're crumbling right now. Thank God there's background noise on.
Oh, man.
First you got the devil tears.
Yeah, try to get back to the game after that. They screwed you up. I don't know why, though. I don't know why there would have been a goose or a duck or, whatever the thing may have been that flashed up on the screen for these broadcasters.
But if ever things get tense, especially during sports games, just throw that picture up, and it will kind of break the ice a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of It's like the bear in the hammock for me, where I really liked. There was a bear. I don't know if it was a grizzly bear or a brown bear or whatever, but it was a bear. And this bear decided to wander its way over to a hammock in somebody's yard. And the bear jumped in the hammock like a big fat American in its own backyard, just enjoying life. And I always enjoyed that. It calmed me down many times. Did we land on goose? Goose?
I think it's a goose.
Interrupt.
It's a picture of three geese.
Goose during NBA coverage. Okay, I'll put this up on See It Now so everybody can take a look at this and you can see what was going on in this moment. They did their best to keep it together. They didn't do well.
Yeah.
they tried.
Sure.
They did not perform at the high level that they were probably searching for. Check it out over on See It Now. We'll start right off with one of those over on thenewsjunkie.com. Okay, we have a million things to get to. Courtney's got me like running gigs for her in the middle of the show today. She's going to some convention. She wants to go to a convention.
Another cat convention.
No. This one is like it's like no. It's not animal related. It's not geese. This one is for some makeup thing. There's like a makeup convention, and Courtney, she loves makeup. She's very, very talented at all that stuff. And they're doing this big event. She goes, got to go. And the swag bags are crazy that they have at this event. And so I said, well, I can pull it up on my computer if you want me to try too. And so now I did it. Now I'm sitting here waiting in line. And I've never done this before.
For it.
Yeah. And now I got to do the show and look at this line. And it said, so this thing popped up and it says, you're now in line. All right. I'm looking at it. And I've been in line for about 30 minutes, 36 minutes, or maybe longer.
Oh, you got a ways to go, bud.
Yeah.
Did you see the dots?
There's only 1.5 dots, and there's like 12 dots total to fill up. This is like when Microsoft tells you how much time it's going to take for the update, and it's just bloop, 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 bloop. Very slow.
I've seen in my feed some Instagram videos where these guys are like, hey, this is ethical hacking. We're just showing you what you could do, but don't do anything nefarious. And one of them was about waiting in those little things.
Hey, it's a duck. It's a duck, everybody.
What are you talking about?
It's a duck during the broadcast. All right.
I'm sorry. You're supposed to be looking at the line. That's a duck.
Oh, shoot. Was I supposed to respond professionally when the duck popped up?
Yeah, that's
completely.
I made a mistake, a duck mistake.
Apologize.
Really ducking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
No, but there was some guy that said he could teach you how to skip those lines, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if this really works. I can't tell if you're telling the truth or not. But it's supposed to be for Ticketmaster and stuff like that.
Well, I'd like that. And now I feel bad if I close out the window, you know what I mean? Because she's got one going on her phone, but she doesn't have the half a dot that I have here. It seems like it's going to take forever. Just nightmarish territory. Well, at least we have the duck to keep us company today. From time to time. You may see the duck pop up on the screen. When you see the duck, everybody react over in chat. All right? Get as I don't know what your reaction should be,
Ducked
but
up.
just Get as ducked up as you possibly might want to over there during the show today. Okay, we have checks that are possibly heading out toward everybody. $2,000 checks.
Woo!
$2,000 tariff checks. Yeah, baby. All right.
Can't wait for Stimmy Memes 2026.
Yeah, I don't care if you're on the left or the right, or team red, team blue, team green. $2,000 checks, baby. We're probably never going to get them. But unless some miracle happens here. We've been promised again that there's $2,000 checks coming out, and there was an update on this, so I want to bring you the information so we don't miss out on a big fat chunk of mailbox money on this show.
Kevin Hassett on that, or do you think you can do that unilaterally?
No, I don't think we would have to go the Congress route, but we'll find out. The reason we're even talking about it is that we have so much money coming in from tariffs that we'll be able to issue at least a $2,000 dividend.
At least.
And also pay down debt for the country. But we'd do a $2,000 dividend to the people of our country. Would probably set a limit of, income limit.
Wait a second.
But we will be able to make a very substantial dividend to the people of our country. I believe we can do that without Congress.
All right, so he said he is going to cut this check. He said at least $2,000. in this tariff dividend that's going out to people.
Did he say, I believe we could do that without Congress?
He said, yes. He said, I believe we could do that without Congress. He says, doesn't need anybody else to help him out. He could just cut this check for the tariffs and fire it off and be good to go. But my question now is, he just said there'll probably be an income limit on this. Now, what do you think the income limit should be? If you make over X amount of dollars, you wouldn't get one of these tariff dividend $2,000 plus checks that everybody's going to get.
It's a good question.
We're talking about if somebody makes $1 million a year, okay,
you get
screw
$20.
them. You don't. No, you get nothing.
Okay.
You get nothing if you're over a certain length. If you're over a certain amount of money. I don't know why I'm measuring things.
If we're doing that kind of measurement, then
no,
everyone will be rich.
I'm gonna owe money.
that's like an episode of South Park. No, we're not doing that.
Hey, Dad, what about your genitals?
If you have over a certain amount of money, you don't get the tariff dividend checks, which may or may not ever come out. But it's now being pushed once again. What should that top shelf amount of money? Well, Wolfman says if you clear over $100,000, you shouldn't get the $2,000 tariff dividend. Get out of here. That's too low. $100,000. And what are you talking about? A household or a person? I would like to set it at $1 million a year. Personally, I would like to see this at $1 million a year, $2,000 tariff dividend to everybody under that. Now, if I'm being realistic,
that's real generous of you, like just to give up the chance at that dividend right there. It's really that's really kind of
brave,
grounded
I ain't
of
giving
you.
up nothing. If I was being honest, I would say if your household income is over what would we say? If it's over $150,000, your household income.
Well, what was it for the COVID stimmies?
I don't remember. I didn't get any monies from the COVID situation
cha-ching.
ever. No, I didn't. The opposite of cha-ching. Reverse ching-cha. I didn't get anything from those. And I want to get a little bit of money.
Don't say ching-cha. That sounds racist.
Ching-cha. Ching-cha. The president says he's going to give these dividend checks out. You think we're ever going to see them? ? Let us know what your thoughts are. Newsweek says Donald Trump issues $2,000 rebate checks update. We could legit get these, and he's saying he doesn't even need congressional approval.
Wow, Newsweek. Everything about that headline sounded great until update just kind of undid all that good.
It says Donald Trump issues $2,000 rebate checks.
Update.
Afterwards.
Issues. You could have said he issues update on $2,000 rebate, possible $2,000 rebate checks. But we wanted
read more.
We wanted that gold headline.
At least $2,000, he said. I'm keeping track of all of this stuff. I'm writing all this down because I want, especially these folks out there who are hardworking, lower middle class Americans, the unemployed poros. I only care so much about them. I don't know that they should get the $2,000. I want hardworking, lower-class Americans and lower-middle-class Americans. If you are gainfully employed, you're working hard, but you're struggling, that's legit who I want to get these $2,000-plus checks. I want that money put in their pocket. Those are the people who deserve it the most. But will we actually get it? That's the question. I don't know. Is there a Kalshi on this, C-Lane? Is there like a poly market bet?
I'll put all my fake $2,000 check into it.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be a real interesting way for them to let you bet on this stuff. It says Hassett, the director of the National Economic Council, said in December any checks would require a proposal to Congress and would ultimately depend on appropriation. And Trump just said, no, he doesn't need to go to Congress to do this. Now, does he actually? Well, that will be determined by somebody above my pay grade at some point in time, probably the Supreme Court. There are doubts that the amount of money brought in through tariffs will be enough to fund $2,000 dividends, even when excluding affluent Americans. They said the fiscal year that ended September 30th had $195 billion, an additional $90 billion collected so far this year. And the price tag on the $2,000 check could be about $600 billion. So we don't know how much we've brought in total, but the promises continue. And I know you folks out there who are as blue gets, you left-wing lunatics, some of you people way out on the fringes, even you way out there, I know you're still going to cash this check if you get it.
It could be a couple. There'll be a couple of them. I don't cash checks from Nazis.
No way, man. No way. I don't care who the president was. If you send me a $2,000 check, I'm going to cash it. I just hope I could get one of these things.
Or I'm going to donate the check to something that Trump hates.
The ice hunters. Something going on out there. You know, the people who are like going and warning everybody when ICE is showing up in the neighborhood. It'd have to be something like that.
Kalshi is trading. Will Americans receive tariff stimulus checks?
Are they?
We have 1% before February, 4% before March, 8% before April, 40% before 2027.
Okay, so 40% of people are saying this year they actually think we'll get these checks.
And I guess this...
Why not after April? Like taxes and stuff.
Well, I mean,
there's all of the months. I mean, this goes up to before August, and then it skips from before August to before 2027.
Hey, just to be clear, no one knows what the hell's going on here.
Right.
I don't even think Trump absolutely knows what the hell's going on here. I think this is like winging. But go ahead. What'd you say?
But this actual, like, you call each one a market? You call them a bet? I don't know.
A bet.
This particular page on Kalshi has been active long enough that there was a before 2026, and whoever bet on that, whoever bet yes on that, lost.
Yeah, but will the same be true for 2026? Will it happen this year? And would you take it? And do you think it's going to happen? All those things. Hit us up with your dispatches and your emails, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. All right, we got a lot going on today. Very, very busy show. Aware the show Wednesday. Let's see that gear over with your photo dispatches on thenewsjunkie.com. I got clips galore. We'll talk about a celebrity who was captured doing something very strange. It's going to prompt a conversation here on the show and a whole lot more. And it's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
AI can mimic emotions, but it'll never understand the primal rage of spilling hot coffee on yourself while on air. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
2 right lanes are blocked now on Colonial Drive eastbound at Shine Avenue. Look out for emergency crews clearing up that crash. Looks like traffic's starting to get by. Northbound and southbound lanes are still getting affected on Orange Blossom Trail at Consulate Drive. It looks like traffic's getting by as well. Just look out for emergency.
Hello. Welcome in to a Wednesday stream. Where the show Wednesday stream. A little more height on the Skull Mike camera. I don't know. You got a little more height. A little bigger view of the room, I think. The Stepafee says, what's going on with secret shows? Secret shows tonight, folks. Live on the Discord. There's discussion about possibly doing a double header. All right, to get back on board with this year. So Secret Shows does return tonight, live streaming on the Discord, if you're a sub. If you don't know how to do that, you can always email me and I'll help you out. I'll point you in the right direction. But that will be tonight. It will be released this week as per usual. On Friday. Wait, no, Secret Show's tomorrow. I'm sorry. It's Wednesday. Secret Show's tomorrow live, released on Friday. Hello, everybody. Where the show Wednesday? What a novel idea. Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that you think it's a novel and an interesting idea. I was racking my brain for interesting ideas, and I came up with it. I came up with it. All right, folks. It's time to get serious. It's goal time. See this? We have goals. What is a stream without stream goals, you might ask? And I would argue not a stream at all. Here are our goals. We are trying to get 11 subscribers on Secret Shows. We'll talk about that in a second. We're trying to get our YouTube to 27,500 subscribers. That's like a couple hundred subscribers. That's all we need to get. All right, so YouTube to 27,500, 11 Secret Show subscribers, and Twitch, we need 13 subs. Okay? If we unlock this, we unlock ass. An after show stream. if we unlock this, we unlock an exclusive after-show stream, thanks to your hard work. So 11 subs on Secret Shows, YouTube up to 27,500, and 13 more subs over on Twitch. Does the trick, folks. That's what we need. Let's get moving. To kick you off, I added this up. If somebody donates 5 subs over on Secret Shows, you can get your hands on one of the last, if not the last, News Junkie insulated water bottles. These things are nice. Look at this. Gorge. 5 subs would get you this. And that would leave us with only 6 more needed. And if we get to the goal, you unlock an after-show stream, a.k.a. an ass. So let's get fired up. Let's accomplish something today. We're coming back. We are coming back, baby. Don't tell me I owe you an ass now. I'm pushing that aside. We got to get to the goal.
Industry is changing, so what I'm really excited about is to be part of that change.
Listen to Mind the Business Small Business Success Stories on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Mind the Business and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Happy, Happy. Happy. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
Second, thanks for hanging out with us here on the show. You can learn more about the radio show podcast and live stream on the website, of course, which is at thenewsjunkie.com. Aware the show Wednesday. We'll see if we get anybody who is rocking their News Junkie merch over on the dispatch side of things. Take a picture if you are today. That will be greatly appreciated. I don't know why they're going after him. I don't know if it's because he chimed in on this Star Trek controversy, the new show that people don't like, and the review bombing and stuff. I don't know what it was, but William Shatner ended up in the targets of the media yesterday.
Great scam.
And they decided that they wanted to go after William Shatner for doing what I would consider the unthinkable. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know why anybody would do this.
It's a commitment.
It's a big commitment, I would argue, C-Lane. And this is William Shatner photographed in his car, driving his car, eating a bowl of cereal.
Are you insane, Billy?
Again, I don't know why they took this photograph of him. Maybe they want to teach William Shatner a lesson. Maybe they follow him around all the time, and they were like, what the hell? Is he eating a bowl of cereal while driving?
His window down as well.
Well, of course. Yeah, just in case you got to wing out a little extra milk or something, I guess. He's got the window down, and he's full munching a bowl of cereal while William Shatner, Star Trek fame, is driving the car. And I will reiterate something that I've talked about a long time ago on the show. There are 2 types of foods. They only fit into 2 categories, drivable and not drivable. And if a food is drivable, it's perfectly fine and completely safe to cruise along and eat it no matter what. And there are various foods, even fast foods. There are some fast foods, believe it or not, that make this list. Like the McDonald's breakfast burrito is actually a drivable food.
100%.
You can rocket that thing into one hand.
A lot of fast foods are made to be drivable.
I don't know, unless you're trying to dip. But I will say, I am part of another group that is really good at driving with a knee, and therefore can use 2 hands. Therefore, being able to dip McNuggies into sauce.
This is illegal. What you're describing is absolutely illegal. You're not allowed to drive with your knee. You're not allowed to do that.
What if you don't have arms?
You are allowed to drive with your nubs. And then various other devices that they make. I don't know, they might allow you if you don't have any arms to do it. But He does. He's not in that field. And he's in the car, and he's got a full bowl of cereal, and he's eating it. And cereal is not drivable. I don't have to tell you guys this. You know that. It's not drivable
I think
at
with
all.
the milk sloshing around and stuff, not quite. It's a commitment.
Now he's stuck in traffic. He's in L.A., right? Or Hollywood.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's sitting in standstill traffic, most likely. That's a great time for a bowl of cereal.
Doesn't matter. Drivable food matters whether you're stuck in traffic or whether you're cruising at the speed limit or getting off the interstate or whatever. But it's whether or not it's allowed for a driver to eat that kind of food while they're behind the wheel.
I think that your drivable, not drivable line here is becoming less of a solid line. There's gray area these days because of the advent of cars that will assist you with your driving.
This is true. That's a great
You're not allowed to
point.
do that. No, it's not a great point. It's as bad as the knee
Fantastic
point.
points, Elaine.
It's a bad point, just like the knee point was a bad point, because guess what? Just like you can't drive with your knee, you're not allowed to put it on self-drive and eat a bowl of cereal.
Then why does self-drive exist?
Because it's for, like, testing or something. I don't know. It seems like it was a bad idea, if I'm honest with you. Put that out there.
There are plenty of cars with the capability of lane assist. And there are situations in where you could only use the pedals and let the car lane assist you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm.
Or there are certain like adaptive cruise controls that will come to a complete stop and then accelerate again from the complete stop when the coast is clear.
Folks, take notes here and listen up closely to Celine and Sabrina. And file it away in a book called How to Get Arrested, because all of this is illegal. You're not allowed to do this. You are technically allowed to eat some items if they are drivable foods. Granola bar, fine, no problem. You can get a granola bar, you can drive, eat the granola bar.
And what happens? What do you do when the granola crumbs fall into your shirt?
That is a risk you're taking. It is a risk you're taking.
You're going to leave it there, right?
You have to.
You have to keep your hand right there on the wheel.
Any mistakes that is made, if you deem a food drivable and then get it on you as you're driving, any mistakes, dribbles or otherwise, you cannot do anything about it until you get to work or your destination, I should say. You just can't. But cereal is on the no-go list. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. It's like eating a fajita while you're driving a car. It's not allowed. It's not on the drivable list, folks. Why he was doing this, it probably boils down to what was mentioned earlier, which is the simple fact that Los Angeles traffic sucks and it's bad in every way. So they're trying to make the most of it.
That LA traffic is ripe for, and also William Shatner has the money to buy a car that'll do most of the work for him so he can eat his cereal in peace.
Well, he doesn't have a driver at this point.
Now, that's legal. Now, that's a fair point. That's legal. If he has a driver, Shatner's got driver money. We're not kidding ourselves here.
But he has pride, which includes eating bowls of cereal while driving.
I don't know why he wouldn't have somebody to bring him to the location. I'll be honest with you. It was one of the most douchebag things I've ever heard in my life. But on an interview on Smartless, I heard the guy from Blumhouse, Jason Blumhouse, I think is his name.
His name is Blumhouse?
His name is Blumhouse. I think. Listen, now I'm making something up. Jason Blumhouse, I believe, is the guy's name. And he said that he hates traffic so much in California, he bought a Pacer van.
His name is Jason Blum.
Jason Blum. Okay. Jason Blum, house. And this guy bought a van and outfitted it with a work desk and a computer and internet and mobile internet and all that. And he works along in traffic. You want to sit
Why
at
does that sound
desk?
douchey? I think 50 Cent does the same thing.
It just, and then the everything he said sounded douchey in the interview. Like he said, you guys sleep inside on a regular bed? I sleep outside. I built a patio bed area, and my wife and I sleep in the open air because we find it to be more rewarding. And I wanted to shoot the guy in the face. I wanted to hit him with a chair that spins around in the Blumhouse plug. But I think that would be a better bet for all parties involved, including William Shatner, eating cereal behind the wheel. They got you, Shat. They got you busted. He says no privacy. even in traffic these days. That was his response. No privacy, even in traffic these days, says William Shatner. Lots of memes popping up on the feed.
Good.
They have the folks on the Enterprise, question mark.
That's a good one.
They're cruising around in the spaceship, looking at him eating the cereal up on the screen, enjoying himself. So there you go. I'll put this up on See It Now as well, and we can get into the discussion, which is a very obvious one on what is drivable and not once more if we need to. All right, let's see what we got. There's more talk about Greenland and whether or not we'll be taking Greenland, and there's some interesting updates on that, including some useful stuff, I think. They're saying that Trump was mixing up Greenland and Iceland during his speech at Davos, but let's see if he did it. Here it is.
I know that they'd be there for us. They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland.
Uh-oh.
So Iceland's already cost us a lot
That's
of money.
3.
But that dip is peanuts compared to what it's gone up.
All right, so I think he meant to say Greenland there, or at least that's the insinuation of the person posting this clip. Said he appears to be mixing up Greenland and Iceland.
I'm sure the founding fathers or whoever was drawing the maps, Rand and McNally, are just out there going, in their graves going, you're still falling for it.
Yeah, that's the point. That was the point of the whole Greenland-Iceland thing. So he was falling into that trap. Here's more of Trump talking about Greenland.
I have tremendous respect for both the people of Greenland and the people of Denmark. Tremendous respect. But every NATO ally has an obligation to be able to defend their own territory. And the fact is, no nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the United States. We're a great power, much greater than people even understand. I think they found that out 2 weeks ago in Venezuela.
Uh-oh.
We saw this in World War II when Denmark fell to Germany.
Oh, so he's saying, look, Denmark is in control of Greenland, the Kingdom of Denmark. Denmark used to be a larger kingdom, but they've sold off most of what they had, including, I think it was them that sold off Epstein Island. Was that? I think that was them. Denmark also sold off Norway and Sweden, which they held at some point in time. And Denmark, the Kingdom of Denmark, with a literal king, they still continue on in this day and age with Greenland, and Greenland is the last major territory. Well, there's a couple others, I think, but that Denmark runs right now. Trump is saying we need somebody to protect everybody else from threats like Russia, and we need a strategic person to be in charge of Greenland, and Denmark is not that strategic person. They're not the folks to be in charge of this. Now, I've said from the jump, I think the whole Greenland thing is dumb. But if you really wanted something on Greenland, I really think we could easily get a base if we don't already have. Didn't we look up that we had a base? We do have a base.
We had a bunch of bases there in World War II, I want to say.
We lost our base?
And then we left them all, and we left a bunch of crap there and said basically, hey, we bailed you out of all this. It's up to you to clean it up. I'm talking there's rivers of rust from all these barrels of aviation fuel that we left there. We left a whole big mess in Greenland.
Those were different people, all right? That was past United States. Who knows who was in charge when that happened? This is totally different now. And don't tell me we can't do it. And even Trump on this one, where he goes, no, we have to have full ownership. Rubbish. We have a little place called Guantanamo Bay, which is connected to off of all places, Cuba. And we still hold that territory in that facility. So we obviously could do this.
Yeah, that was always kind of a question mark for me with the whole Cuba thing. How do we not let anybody go to Cuba? We have the embargo. We had all this stuff going on that seemed to be hostile between us and Cuba, except Guantanamo Bay.
If you'd like to visit Cuba, you just have to be a terrorist, I believe.
Guantanamo Bay is the border. That's the quick pass right to get there.
There's a much easier non-terroristic way to visit Cuba.
Buzz on YouTube says we have 2 bases there. JD Vance, by the way, congrats to JD Vance and the second lady for their announcement yesterday that they're having a child. which I believe makes it quite clear that they're having sex in the VP residence. They are together and banging and doing their thing, and they have a child on the way. But he says J.D. Vance went to visit these bases the first time we threatened Greenland. Yeah, it just seems like we don't need the full thing. Like, for real, we could just say, hey, Greenland, we want a big fat base, and you can shut up about it. We're going to have whatever we want in terms of missiles and et cetera, and we'll do it that way. The rest of it is like, why would we waste it? There's so much that you would spend to control a place like that, which is a bunch of nothingness. You think fighting for nothing in the desert is a waste of time? Fighting for nothing in the snow is even more of a waste of time. You could say they have resources. We have enough resources. The United States has enough oil, okay? And now we got a little Venezuela oil, too. We got enough oil that it would last us a very, very long time. We don't need any more resources like that out of Greenland. So I think we would be able to do this without having, a complete ownership of the base. But maybe that's what they're going for. Let's see what Trump says. He's got one more comment on this.
Greenland is a vast, almost entirely uninhabited and undeveloped territory.
True.
It's sitting undefended in a key strategic location between the United States, Russia, and China. That's exactly where it is, right smack in the middle. Wasn't important nearly when we gave it back. When we gave it back, it wasn't the same as it is now. It's not important for any other reason, everyone talks about the minerals. There's so many places. There's no rare earth. No such thing as
it
rare
might
earth.
be.
There's rare processing. But there's so much rare earth. And to get to this rare earth, you got to go through hundreds of feet of ice.
All right. So he's saying now that if it's between us and Russia, but on the other side of that, I would say Alaska is so close that I've been told you can see Russia from
2.5 miles away.
From the what is it, the Aleutian Islands or
no? There's isn't it like at certain times of the year, weather-wise, you could just walk to Russia?
I don't know if you can actually do that. If you could physically walk, I know that some of my knowledge happens to come from a little show called Deadliest Catch, and I know that they get way out there, and that they are legitimately. People mocked Sarah Palin for this for a long time, because they like to do Sarah Palin dumb, and Sarah Palin helps them in every way when they're trying to do Sarah Palin dumb. And Sarah Palin was like, I could see Russia from my house. Or she didn't say it exactly like that, but that became the SNL bit.
Hey guys, I could see it.
And literally, we are close in Alaska, in these Aleutian Islands, to Russia. So we have that going as well. Of course, that area of Russia is nothingness. It's just snow and snowbanks and miserable weather and absolutely nothingness. So maybe we want it from the other side. The good news is this. Trump said, and this is important, that he will, quote, not use force to achieve his goal of annexing Greenland. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force, where we would be, frankly, unstoppable, but I won't do that, Trump says. That's probably the biggest statement I made, because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force. All the United States is asking for is a place called Greenland. That's one way.
Well, we want a place called Greenland.
He sounds like I'm just a girl looking at a boy asking him to love
for
me.
Greenland.
all the United States is asking for is a place called Greenland. All right, it's not that big of a deal, Greenland people. What do you care if the Denmark folks, the Danes, if they're in charge, or if the United States is in charge? What do you care? All right. We'll see what you think about all of this. Send your dispatches over at thenewsjunkie.com.
Says here, yes, at times you can technically walk from Alaska to Russia across the Bering Strait on sea ice in the winter, specifically between Little Diomede Island and Big Diomede Island. The little one we own, big one Russia owns. They're about 2.5 miles apart, and they're separated by the international date line. It is extremely dangerous. It is illegal without permits, and it's risky due to strong currents, unstable ice, military presence, all that good stuff.
Everything you said was very interesting, but also, as dangerous as you just told me it was, it really still makes me want to try it, because like walking across
the international date line.
Yeah.
And then you'll be the body they can't recover, and everyone who tries it after you just has to wave to you.
It does say many past attempts have resulted in detention or rescue.
So what?
Oh,
What do you think happens when people try to go over the Niagara Falls? And forever, people would be like, I'm going over Niagara Falls on a barrel. And people say, you're going to die. And folks would say, I don't care. This is my goal in life. I want to go over Niagara Falls on a barrel. All right, we're running behind. Quick break. When we come back, I assure you, we will get to some of your feedback, your comments, and a whole lot more. All of that, plus a shocker on Air Force One we'll get to. And a couple is suing a clinic for the most insane reason. I'll tell you why. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
You have a good turtleneck head. I do not think I have a good turtleneck head. Jack has an okay turtleneck head.
But Jim in one would look like a roll-on deodorant.
How dare you, sir?
The Jim Colbert Show. Weekdays at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Happy Wednesday, Central Florida. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we are going to be expecting a much warmer day, even with a cool start. Afternoon highs will be climbing well into the low 70s. It will be very pleasant under a mostly sunny sky. High of 73 degrees today in Orlando. We'll see some slow increasing clouds as the afternoon and evening wears on, ahead of a couple of rain chances on the way for tomorrow. That will be out ahead of a big time warm up with highs near 80 by the end of this week. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since
Hello. Welcome behind the scenes of the show. Thank you to stand by. Thank you to Cat Butthole. Excellent name. Thank you to Cat Butthole for the gifted sub. So that already has us to 10 subs that we need for our Secret Show's goal. All updated. We're already making progress, people. 10 subs. That's all we need to scratch that Secret Show's goal off of our goal list. And if one person donates 5, you will get the News Junkie water bottle that you can claim after you donate them. Just make sure you hit claim a gift, and you'll see there's one of them in there that you can claim for 5 gifted subs. How we doing? We already got people sending in Where the Show Wednesday emails. Even though that's not what I asked for, I still like it. Nicole says I should check how the markets are going. I gotcha. Hang on. No, it wasn't good yesterday. The Dow is up 366 points right now. The Dow is up 366 points, reclaiming some of the losses from yesterday where it was a disaster. How are we, everybody? YouTube, Twitch, how are we doing today? Good? Oh, the Stepafy just gifted 5 subs. Big thank you to the Stepafy. Make sure you claim the water bottle if you want that. This is easier than anticipated. We only need 5 more Secret Shows subs to hit the goal. That's all we need. And I haven't even checked Twitch yet. I haven't even checked over there. Next thing you know, we'll be down to just YouTube, and then we are in ass territory with a bonus after show stream. Claim those gifted subs over on the website. All right, we got 3 minutes, and we're back live. This Greenland stuff is such a sideshow. I honestly think my biggest issue with it is if it's a bit, if it's a gimmick, if it's a bunch of nonsense, it kills the markets on days like yesterday. And then it's like, oh, when Trump says we're not going to take Greenland by force, it's like, oh, then the market recovers. It's like, it's a level of stability in the financial markets that I'm not comfortable with. Hey, Night Nurse. Hey, Tony. Throw in a roast mag, and I'll gift the last 5 right now. Tony, gift 5 and email me, and I'll send you the roast mag. Almost like a distraction? True! Yeah, I mean, you can't deny that. You can't deny that. It's obviously a distraction. It's the whole point.
Hey, can you blow up Symbol Ends for Jack's party? I can't. I'm so congested. You need Sinex saline from Vicks.
2 minutes, and we're back live.
Just Sinex. Breathe.
If Tony hits those 5 subs, we've already hit the Secret Show sub goal that fast.
Colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more.
Oh, no. Courtney couldn't get her tickets to that thing. That sucks.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
Trump on Greenland, new comments. Oh, I'll save these for when we come back.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OF.
Courtney said there was 3 million people in the queue. They only sold 3,000 tickets. Holy cow!
Ask your app store about Easy Cater.
Holy cow!
EasyCater.com.
90 seconds. VG says a distraction from ... Well, the distraction doesn't have to be tied to anything in particular. It may be a distraction from various things like, hey, folks, focus on Greenland, and hey, in the dead of the night, Maduro gets whipped out and pulled over to New York City to be facing trial. Could be anything. It could be an ongoing distraction. I think it's more likely that the president... Are you guys crooked here? I think it's more likely that the president is using it as a bargaining chip and saying, we're going to take Greenland, we're going to take Greenland, we're going to take Greenland, so that he can get an offer back at some point that says, here, we'll give you this. That's how he does business. For better or for worse. I'll come back.
2026 by showing your gratitude. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Celebrating the incredible impact of public school educators. Nominate an outstanding teacher in your life who's gone above and beyond for their students to be among the winners of $5,000 to stock their classroom. Teachers give their time, money, and hearts to help students succeed. Help us say thank you to the educators shaping our future. Get all the info and nominate a teacher who goes the extra mile today at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com.
Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Real Radio is on Instagram at RealRadio1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The most viral newsroom on the planet is still humming along. This is...
Thank you for hanging out with us. Welcome to the world's most viral newsroom. Learn more about the show. Go over to the website, which is thenewsjunkie.com. Thenewsjunkie.com. Oh, Courtney's not happy. She missed out on the event. Yeah. She said there was 3 million people in line and they only had 3,000 tickets or something.
Did you X out of your window?
No, I have it up, but it says I still only have 1.5 bubbles out of like 20 bubbles or a lot.
Oh,
and then it says still in line. Some tickets may become available. Hang tight. Keep an eye out. I mean, I'll try, but it doesn't seem like that's a thing.
Just show up, Courtney, and say Tupperware, and you'll get in.
Ulta Beauty World. Just in case there's anybody who's listening to the show who works at the convention center or for this event, hit me up and sneak me in somehow. Not me. I don't care. I'm not going. But Ulta Beauty World, she was trying to get into that. There was like 3 million people, I guess, in line, and only 3,000 tickets. And I guess it's all because like the thing you get with it was some crazy expensive swag bag full of lots of like nice high-end stuff. And it was $160 for a ticket, but like you got 1,000 or thousands of dollars worth of stuff in the swag bag.
That's what they say.
That's what they tell you. Yeah. I mean, you can never believe it, but what a bummer. If you're a part of that event and you want to hook her up, please do email me, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. That would be fantastic. Meanwhile, I guess Trump, I wanted to get past the Greenland stuff because there's a whole lot of people who are like, who cares? Give me the next funny thing. But there was another comment that
who cares? Give me the next funny thing
with our conversation. So let's do it. Here's Trump again talking about military action. Like, should we use the military to take Greenland?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
What prompted you to take military off the table for Greenland?
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Well, we'll see what happens. The military's not on the table. I don't think it'll be necessary. I really don't. Okay. I think people are going to use better judgment. They'll use their best judgment, and I don't think that will not be necessary.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so he said the military will not be used. It's not necessary, blah, 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 blah. It's kind of clear what's happening here. He's trying to make some sort of deal for some sort of chunk of Greenland, and that's how Trump handles these kind of things. It's like the whole art of the deal thing. So we'll take your feedback on that. Lots of emails coming in, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, and we'll get to them. I know Air Force One had a freak out moment.
Oh, I saw that this morning.
Like they were headed off for the event that he's at now, and while Air Force One is up in the air, headed to Davos, they said, well, we got to turn this sucker around. They were turning the Air Force One around to go back because there was some sort of issue with the plane. I don't know exactly what it turned out was wrong with it.
I thought
Air Force One was broken.
Was it the actual plane? I thought there was something that they found out would be happening. Or, God, they used a particular phrase this morning on
Let me say.
the news. It was out of
Force.
abundance of, but I didn't think it was the plane. I think it was like destination issue.
This says a minor electrical issue. First Air Force One, forced Air Force One to turn back. President Donald Trump is once again on his way to Switzerland aboard a backup plane after a technical issue forced Air Force One.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Can you believe it? And I know they used the moment to be like, huh? You guys still want to complain about Qatar giving us that free plane or what? We could have a new Air Force One. And that was a good time to do that, I guess. But Air Force One was in the air Tuesday evening when it returned due to a minor electrical issue. The decision was made out of an abundance of caution. They said that back where all the journalists were. So just in case you don't know how this works, hang on. Air Force One layout. Just in case you don't know how this works. Air Force One, it's a big, beautiful plane. And it's got offices in it. It's got all sorts of stuff. Here's what it looks like inside for those of you watching. This is a little bonus you get for
Where is the
being on
escape
YouTube.
hatch that Harrison Ford deployed in the movie Air Force One?
Of the plane. Yeah.
Cannot tell you
Get
that.
off.
Cannot tell you that. Upstairs in the front of the plane is the president's office, and there's like a big ass office that they have up there.
And apparently a giant fan that does not allow you to have a proper audio feed when asking the president questions.
That's further back. That's a little bit further back because there at the front of the plane is the executive entrance, and that side faces the crowd for security reasons. The offices are on the right. But there's offices up in the front of the plane. There's also a presidential suite. A lot of people don't know this. There's a presidential suite in the nose of Air Force One that includes a dressing room, a shower, and a gym. That's pretty cool. Yeah, in the nose of the plane, there's a big suite, and it's got like a chair and a table, like a little desk area where you can do work. It's got monitors all over the place. It has a dressing room, a shower, and even like a little gym where you can get some exercise if you want to. Then there's a medical facility on board. There's a refueling thing on the front of it, so it doesn't even have to stop if they don't want to. And then further back, you go into like all their security stuff. Then there's a dining room and a kitchen that could supply 2,000 meals. The staff is behind that. And then all the way in the very, very back of the plane is where the press is. The press is in like the very, very tail end of the plane. And when you see the president go back there or anybody else go back there and ask questions or take questions, they're in the very, very tail of the plane usually. And that's where all that noise is from. So that's where they're cruising along and doing this stuff on. But in this case, they had to turn around because where the press was, the lights turned off and it went dark on them. And there was an electrical issue on Air Force One at that point in time. So pretty crazy, actually. They said you can even launch a nuclear attack from the office on the front of Air Force One. You could be like in your gym and say, what? Russia did what? And then you could go over and launch a nuclear attack from the front of the plane in your little suite there with your dressing room, shower, and gym. What a life. What a time to be alive. As far as comfort goes,
do you have the layout of the backup plane? Because I have a feeling he got on this one and was a little disappointed.
What a piece of junk. Like, what is this thing?
Turn the plane around.
Yeah, we need the one from the Middle Eastern guys, for God's sake. Okay, we are going to take a very quick break. Then we will get, I promise you, to a bunch of your feedback. And I want to talk about right at the top of the hour, my favorite story of the day, which is this couple that went to a clinic and they got all excited because they finally got pregnant and they were going to the doctor. They were all the medical tests were passing. Everything looked good. They get to the hospital. The woman's pushing. The baby pops out and this incredibly white couple looks down and sees an incredibly black baby and says, something has gone awry. What happened here? And are they going to get a fat check because there's a lawsuit in play now? Wait till you hear this family's
check
story.
that wife's phone.
What if they make her prove it? They're like, how do you know we made the mistake? Huh? How do you know it was us? I'll give you all the drama on this one because it's a good story. And that's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Morning traffic's basically cleared up on all the major roadways. You're still going to get stuck on I-4, however, between Osceola Parkway and Apopka Vineland Road. There's also a crash on I-4 eastbound before Maitland Boulevard getting cleared up off to the shoulder. Traffic still slowing down on I-95 northbound due to an earlier accident at LPGA Boulevard.
Hello. I need another shot of my allergy spray. The new stuff I'm using. Am I crooked? Let's make this clear, because we'll fix this right now. Am I crooked or no? Analyze. Analyze, crooked or straight? Crooked or straight, chap? Crooked or straight? Like Nixon? No! No! I would say more shady than crooked. A little crooked seems okay. I don't want okay. I want, is it crooked or is it not? That should be relatively flat. The left is higher? Still? Hang on. Better or worse?
And that's why I love Hammer and Nails Grooming for Guys. It's not just a barbershop.
Better or worse? Are we flat?
Beer, hot towel, and a drink in your hand.
Worse? Okay.
Central Florida, they're offering a New Year visit.
That's okay. That's all right.
Signature upgrade on your very first visit. All you do, you mention my name, C-Lane, and real.
That looks flat.
And book at hammerandnailsgrooming.com.
Yeah, this looks flat.
Come as you are, leave as you want to be. There's a new app.
I can't believe you didn't get your tickets.
That's okay. A lot of people do.
I know. What a bummer, though.
It's like the lottery.
I I'll see if I can. Maybe we can find him somewhere else.
Yeah. Okay. But Publix is calling.
Publix is calling? They call you now?
Yeah.
Why do they call you?
Welfare check.
No. Can you bring me the allergy thing real quick? Better? I can't tell because you're saying better or worse. I can't see a reference of skull mic unless I'm over there because of the way it works. It's very complicated. Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay, be safe, please. Less than 90 seconds. Folks, big time update. Thanks to Tony B. Greasy. Shouts out to Tony B. Greasy for the 5 gifted subs. Our secret show's goal is down to 0. 0. And I gotta check Twitch because the goal is only 13 subs. Okay? I will check during the next break to see how we're doing on that. Because we could get down to just needing some YouTube subs, and then you've unlocked an after show stream. Which is exciting. This looks pretty flat, right? Yeah. This looks level. It's hard to say. All right, we're coming back.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Accidents happen, but Mo's here to help. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. C-R-E-D-I-T. Credit. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Real Radio 104.1.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
This is the world's most viral newsroom. Welcome into the show. Learn more at thenewsjunkie.com, at thenewsjunkie.com. Thanks for hanging out with us on Aware the Show Wednesday. In fact, somebody even emailed about that. They didn't follow my descriptions to the T because I told you to take it and send it in as a dispatch. But they did send in a photograph of themselves. Well, it's their dog in this case wearing the show, which I think counts. It's a cute dog, too. Look at this little pup. And he's got the shirt on.
Is he missing an arm?
I don't think so. I think it's just kind of a loose shirt on him. I think it's hard to tell, though, because there's the dog wearing a shirt, as it were, on Aware of the Show Wednesday. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. You could join in on it with your photo dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right. Can't even imagine what this would be like. But this is a real story. Like, this is a legitimate story. And I want you to tell me what you think this couple deserves. A mother is suing after a clinic where she went to help get pregnant, gave her
IVF. She went through IVF.
She went through IVF, and she's accusing the clinic of mixing up the embryos because when she gave birth, she was very surprised to discover that the baby was black.
Right. And this is not the first time this has happened. I think we talked about this last year or the year before.
Yes, it was a lesbian couple, I believe.
It's happened before. I don't remember all the details, but I know that it's happened. And it does. I bet it happens more than they know, too.
Yeah.
Because the only reason they knew is because they were both white and they looked down and the baby was black. And they said, wait.
I think also we were kind of expecting, like, in our heads for this mix-up to have another couple with the wrong baby, but I think you can just have the wrong embryo implanted, and then there's not, like, a black couple with a white baby with question mark faces. Like, what's going on?
But with how much people pay for this,
no,
I
it's
think
expensive.
that there is a better system so something like this doesn't happen.
Well, they can't write their names on it. The embryo is very tiny.
It says, after
Not
giving
impossible.
birth last month, this is Local 6, a Florida mother is now suing an IVF clinic after it turned out the baby wasn't hers, according to court records. The lawsuit says that the couple, identified as John and Jane Doe, began working with the Fertility Center of Orlando in March last year.
Baby just
At the
hitched a
time,
ride?
The couple approached the Longwood-based clinic for IVF fertilization to help them start a family. As such, Jane Doe had an embryo implanted into her with what she believed was her and her husband's genetic material. Just a couple of weeks before Christmas last month, she gave birth to a baby girl, but the baby wasn't the color they expected, the story says. Tragically, while both Jane Doe and John Doe are racially Caucasian, aka white, Baby Doe displayed the physical appearance of a racially non-Caucasian child, the lawsuit reads. According to the couple, the discovery caused them to seek out genetic testing, which revealed the baby had no genetic relationship to either parent.
Oh, that's a big boo-boo.
It was supposed to be a mix of both of them, and it was nothing. It was neither one of them.
Well,
it says of equal
that's
concern.
good news for the dad.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's good news for their lawsuit too. The good news for the lawsuit is like, A, it doesn't look like she was cheating and got pregnant either. Of equal concern to the couple is the obvious possibility that somebody else was either implanted with one or more of their embryos and is presently parenting one or more of their children, the lawsuit continues. While the couple said they will willingly keep the baby girl in their care, they also said they recognize she should be given to her genetic parents, assuming they're able to take her. So,
do you think they want their baby back?
I don't know. I don't know. It depends on who it came from. Like they said they were worried, and they didn't know whether or not, when they looked at this, that there would be somebody else who lost a baby. So like somebody else had a mix up too, and then they could like kind of swap them out. I don't know that that's usually how all this happens. I'm looking at the actual lawsuit here, and it says they are residents of the state of Florida.
I mean, unless on the same day that they went to get implanted, the other couple was getting implanted, and the nurses crossed paths, went down the wrong hallway.
They cheered, but splashed into each other's cup or something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see here. It says John and Jane Doe have equally compelling rights to be fully informed of the disposition of their own embryos and be relieved of the ever-increasing mental anguish of not knowing whether a child or children belong to them or in somebody else's care, they say. And they have, I guess, the certified copy of their whole thing. This is from a law firm I use. Remember when I told you I got the lawsuit over hit in the eye with the rock? This is the same law firm. Searcy, Denny, Scarola, Barnhart, and Shipley, still around to this day. But
still got the 5 names on the old
they do indeed
masthead there.
Yeah, so they went and gave birth. Everything looked fine. They're like, the baby's looking healthy, and then mom pushes out the baby. The baby is born, and next thing you know, they're like, that baby is not. Something's wrong. Something went wrong here, and they realized that there was indeed a mix-up. I think this happens much more than we know. And people just don't notice half the time. I think it happens way more than people know.
Or do a fun little 23andMe.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that'll
later.
do it. That'll do it. And then it'll probably turn into like, you cheated, you did this, you did that. They don't catch it right away. Here's the report on this from Channel 6.
A Florida woman is suing a in vitro fertilization clinic after she says she gave birth to a baby that wasn't her own. Court records say the couple went to the Fertility Center of Orlando last year for IVF, and the woman had an embryo implanted. But after giving birth last month, genetic testing showed the baby is not related to either parent. The couple says they contacted the Longwood Clinic to figure out how to reunite the baby with her real parents, but the clinic never responded. The lawsuit is demanding the clinic notify other patients, pay for genetic testing, and
I like the idea that the clinic might have been like, we got an email. This couple's mad, and they want to give the baby back. And
Reports,
what do
fam.
we do?
Reports,
and somebody in the office is like, just don't respond. Maybe they'll chill out afterwards and they won't follow up with any of this
said
stuff.
turn on your out of office.
I mean, but imagine also that full day of calling all of the other clients.
Damn.
Just like, when you get
We don't have to call all of the clients.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think they deserve, though? What do you think they deserve if they were legitimately going to take this all the way to court and sue? Do you think they have, like, a case that should lead to a big payout for them?
I would hope so, but I think that the clinic needs some accountability here. I mean, there's probably some other issues that need to be attention drawn to, and maybe the system changes up a little bit. They're certainly going to lose some customers after this story comes out.
I would say that this is an indicator that there's probably a larger problem. You might have some protocols that aren't working out very well. You might have some issues. The weirdest thing is, because it's a white couple and the baby's not white, I don't think they specifically said the baby's black, but they said, like, it's not a white baby. There's like this odd pressure on the couple to keep the baby lest they seem sort of like racist or something.
Yeah, I'm super curious how that would have went down. Like,
but it wasn't a sperm donor. That's the thing. So
no,
that's someone else's baby.
Yes, they put the wrong embryo in this woman. That is what happened. 100%. They put the wrong embryo in this woman because it's not their genetic material at all. Whether they did it and they thought, well, if we did this from like a white family, they won't notice, or if they did it on complete accident, which is probably the case, it's still huge. And first of all, if you're a couple and you find out upon giving this baby life and bringing it into the world that it's not your baby and that it's not related to you in any way, there must be a lot of things that you're juggling, because as a woman, you go, well, I did bring this child to term inside my freaking body.
Yeah.
Like I did push this baby out of me and go through all this stuff. So there's a connection there for sure. But then when it's not you genetically and it doesn't look like you have that weird thing where you're like, should I keep the baby, or are people going to call me racist for doing so?
I mean, could you imagine being in the delivery room and they deliver the baby and they hand it to you and you're like, what is it? It's still,
Yikes.
Is it not, is it supposed to look like that for like a little bit and then that clears up? And there's a black nurse in there that's looking at you like, you
what do you mean?
Ignorant piece of S.
It's, it'd be like, oh, this is just as good. No, this is just as good. It's even better than what we were hoping for. Yeah. It's sort of weird, right? It's sort of a strange thing because of how all this plays out. So I want to know how you feel about this, specifically if you're somebody who's maybe thinking about going through this whole process. Give us your thoughts via dispatch or an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
It would have to be weird for the nurses too, because I'm pretty sure, like when they said to us, like when we were going through possibly that process, there was some point at which once you're pregnant, they turn you over to your normal doctors and nurses for that process. Like once the IVF process is done and you are pregnant, there's very little, I think, if I remember correctly, with that clinic anymore. They might have follow-ups and, they might ask you stuff, surveys, I don't know. But it's very possible that the nurses didn't know that they conceived with in vitro fertilization unless they talked about it and, you had a lot of downtime.
Yeah, it's an interesting case for sure. So let's put that on the Mo list, too. Let's add that to the list of Mo questions. Possibly for later this week, and get to a couple emails. This is Tracy to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Tracy says, I'm surprised you didn't know that we currently have bases on Greenland. We have several more that we had during World War II. Well, Tracy, I'm not a Greenland expert. I gave it to you as I knew it. I know we went over this before on the show, and we talked about how we did have an active base on Greenland, but there were some issues with it, and it wasn't like it has been historically. So that's why I explained that in real time as I was talking about it. She says, we have agreements with Greenland/Denmark that we can have them all back if we want. I'm also surprised you didn't know that besides the geographical location issue, it isn't oil that Greenland has. Greenland does have oil. It does have oil reserves. It isn't oil, she says, but rare earth minerals that Trump wants. In the audio that I played, you heard Trump say specifically he doesn't even care about those two issues. He doesn't even care about those things. And I'll tell you again, here's something that I'm surprised you didn't know this, Tracy. No, I don't mean to be mean. I'm surprised you didn't know this, Tracy. Rare earth minerals aren't actually rare. They're not, for the most part, actually rare. They're very difficult to extract, is what they are. And the United States has plenty of rare earth mineral reserves, as do other territories that the U.S. has access to. We don't need Greenland for oil or for the rare earth minerals. At least publicly, the public-facing reason for this is that we need it for geographical location because of Russia in particular. That's the thing. So she doesn't believe this. She believes something else. That's fine. Thank you, Tracy C. Appreciate the email. Thanks for sending that over. You could be next. tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Anthony emails the show. Hey, Sean, do you think it's possible that the couple had a viable embryo that was also placed in the wrong mother? Could there be some other couple out there raising this couple's actual child? Sorry, a couple too many couples in my question about the couple, says Tony. Thank you, Tony.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to figure out. They're trying to figure out if there is another couple with a baby out there. And Ken says, it would be great if another couple got their baby and gave birth and they could just swap them. That would be kind of
ideal,
but also kind of weird. What if they, it's possible that they could hand you that baby and you're like, I don't feel any connection to this baby. This wasn't my baby. The whole process is ruined.
Yeah, but I think I would feel more ripped off if they said, all right, listen, we didn't put your baby in another couple. So if you want to have a baby that's yours, you're going to have to go through this process again and get pregnant again and do, 40 weeks of pregnancy again.
That sounds like
maybe probably not repeat your... I mean, do they even name the baby if they know it's not theirs? I have so many questions.
I do.
The baby's a couple months old at this point, right?
Yeah, the baby was born in December around
they
Christmas.
left their baby, but
yeah, and they're like, look, we're totally willing to keep the baby unless you could find where the baby was supposed to go, because there was an IVF mix-up, and this white couple ends up with a baby that is black, and they go, well, this isn't ours. What the heck is going on here? I want to also put something on the record here. I am not an expert in the field of IVF. I'm open to any corrections from somebody who is. But I'm going to go out on the tiniest limb in the world and say this is an incredibly, incredibly rare circumstance. If somebody is interested in IVF and going through that whole process, I think generally speaking, it's an incredibly tight discipline where these sorts of things are absolutely the fringe anomalies and not something that's a giant risk for everybody who's doing this.
I'm going to be on that limb with you. I imagine that is the case.
Like, I could see people going like, oh, we were going to get IVF, but we don't want to do it. We don't want to get the wrong baby. Yeah, I wouldn't have that fear, generally speaking, myself about the process. It can happen. It can happen.
It's a lot of money.
Oh, it's big money. It's incredibly expensive. C-Lane was like looking into some of this stuff before they ended up getting pregnant, and Jackson was born.
Got
and all
a
the
free
rest.
baby.
One of them free babies.
He is anything but, though. I'll just say,
like IVF. What is it fair to say? IVF, $30,000-$50,000, something like that.
It can be, depending on
if it takes
insurance that you have, and if you have to go through multiple rounds before one, takes, you're spending a lot of money.
So you're talking tens of thousands of dollars that are being spent, and then you end up with the wrong baby. It is okay to be upset. It is. Like, it's okay to be like, this ain't our baby. This is a different baby, even though it was in her body. Very odd situation, but I want to know what you think about it. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now. Okay, we've got a lot of people who have sent in dispatches. We'll get to those here shortly on the show. And also some emails rolling in that we got to hit on. And somebody is upset. We got somebody who's upset and somebody who's thrilled. So we'll do both of those when we come back. Plus, a challenge that none of you, I don't think any of you, would be able to pull off. This is a big thing that's going viral right now. What's the challenge that Americans are putting themselves through? We'll get to that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Russ is going to look like a bologna roll in this red suit.
Yeah.
A bologna roll.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
Looks like northbound and southbound lanes are still slowing down on Orange Blossom Trail at Tap Vineland Road. Traffic's getting by, though. Just look out for emergency crews still on the roadways clearing up that earlier accident. Traffic's backed up due to a crash on I-95 southbound before LPGA Boulevard. That's off to the shoulder. Other than that, you won't be running into anything tying you up or slowing you down on the major roadways. But if you do see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by SuperSure.
Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure, not kind of sure.
Skull mic activated. Hello, everybody. What would you do? Keep the baby or ditch the baby? You and your wife get pregnant. You and your partner get pregnant. You're so excited. She's growing. You go the 9 months plus. She goes through all of the insane, I can't even imagine, physical nonsense, the pain that comes with delivering a baby into this world, and you know immediately, wrong baby. Keep it or ditch it? Ditch that baby, says ESEC. I'm asking for a discount. Depends on its race. Well, hang on. I mean, it should really be about, like, this baby's not mine. For me personally, the only reason the race would matter was because it would be a direct indicator that the baby isn't mine, you know? It would be a direct indicator. You look like some sort of Hollywood bigwig who decided to collect a couple of Angelina Jolie, one of each kind of babies. Throw some cheese on that baby? Neil says that's a situation you have to experience to answer. True. Keep it and sue for another attempt for free to get my own. I mean, you know what the most brutal thing is to me? Thinking about this woman who just held a child in her body for 9 months and pushed it out of her vagina, which is unimaginable pain. Or just an unimaginable experience, even if you were completely numbed up. And then to be told, ooh, let's run that back. Let's do that again. No way. That's tough. You can give birth to a baby that's still be not yours, says Aggravate. AJ Soup says keep the baby, go through the process again for free, and also sue for the mistake. On the lawsuit front, what do we think is fair? All right? Now the guy is like going through some stuff, whatever, mentally or whatever. Nothing compared to what this woman is going through. This woman literally held a child to term in her body, gave birth to this child, and then looked down and said, what the hell? Something has gone wrong. Like, in my estimation, I think this woman deserves at least $1 million. At least $1 million. Quick goal update. Secret Show's goal has been knocked out. Twitch goal, 0 progress. Not a single sub. 0 progress on this. YouTube goal, I'll check. YouTubers, make sure you're subscribing for free over there on YouTube. If we get to 27,500 over there and get 13 Twitch subs, an after show stream is coming your way, and I will let you choose. You guys will choose exactly what day we do it. By the way, that includes the option for a Saturday or Sunday stream, if you guys decide that's what you want. An after show stream could be as soon as after the show ends, we just keep going and we do another couple hours. An after show stream could be like 5 or 6 o'clock. An after show stream could be Saturday or Sunday, whatever you guys want. One minute, we're coming back. Here we go. Hang tight.
Use as directed.
The football postseason lives on iHeartRadio.
Here we go. 20, 15, 10, heading to the goal line. Touchdown, Denver.
From the official NFL podcast network.
Welcome to NFL Daily.
Fox Sports Radio.
Sam Darnold is going to have to prove to all of us in a big game he can play big.
Or local stations that bring you the games live.
It's knocked away and it's intercepted.
iHeartRadio brings you all of it. Just open the iHeartRadio app and search football to dive in.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Preparing you
For the impending robot uprising.
This is the News Junkie.
The most viral stories of the day. It is the News Junkie, and you can learn more about the show over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. Brace yourself, America. It's about to get so cold. So cold, especially for some of you folks on the East Coast. They said from Texas to the Carolinas. Let me bring this story up because this is going to be bad for a lot of people who are listening right now. And it's not going to be something that many people are used to. The story says forecasters warn of a, quote, potentially catastrophic storm from Texas all the way to the Carolinas.
A big storm.
It's covering so much of the U.S. except for Florida. Just
There's a lot.
Little wiener there.
For now. I mean, who knows? It'll get a little shoved down, and this thing comes a bit further south, and Florida's in the mix, too. The AP says, with many Americans still recovering from multiple blasts of snow and unrelenting freezing temperatures in the nation's northern tier, a new storm is set to emerge this weekend that could coat roads, trees, and power lines with devastating ice across a wide expanse of the South. The storm arriving late this weekend into the weekend is shaping up to be a widespread, potentially catastrophic event from Texas to the Carolinas. That's somebody who used to work for NOAA. I don't know how people are going to deal with it, he said. Forecasters on Tuesday warned the ice could weigh down trees and power lines, triggering widespread outages. And that's power outages when it's cold outside. Great swaths of heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain is expected for people all over the East Coast. It's a cold one out there. It's cold air clashing with rain to fuel what they call a major winter storm. So be safe out there and take care. And we'll keep an eye on this. If it moves at all or if anything else happens with this potentially catastrophic winter storm, we'll let you know exactly what's going on. Okay, a lot of people responding on the baby mix-up thing, and I'll get to more of
people
of
love a good baby mix-up.
They do. It's a great story. It truly is. But I wanted to share this with everybody. There's a lot of challenges that go on in January. No drink January. Some people do that. A lot of people do that. The alcohol industry is not a big fan of that.
So much pivoting in advertising because of dry January. Just more than ever, the amount of fake alcohols or zero proof
the alcohol
alcohols
that makes you feel good but doesn't have alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Buzzing.
It's been so impactful, the idea that people do this dry January thing. And you guys know we've talked about this before, Sealand and Sabrina, we've discussed that there's a lot of younger people who don't drink. There's a lot of younger people who don't drink right now, and they attribute it to a lot of stuff. One of the things is
alcoholic
parents. Parents are more cool with it, number one. And so they try it, and they're like, I'm not really into it. Their parents are alcoholics. Sealand's not wrong about that. So they're like, I want to steer away from this.
They start doing harder drugs earlier. They're like, why drink a 12-pack when I can do one ecstasy and have the time of my life?
Some of them are going full clean. They're just teetotaling, not doing anything. And so it's had an impact, so much so, and I'll get to what Americans are doing in a moment here, but so much so that 2 brands of alcohol are shutting down. And this is because less people are drinking. And Kentucky Owl Bourbon is one of them. They are shutting down. And the other one is Stoli Vodka.
Really?
Wow.
I thought that was
That was
pretty
like your
big.
go-to grain alcohol.
Yeah.
Was it not?
Like if you went to a cheap place and they had a well vodka that was cheap, wasn't it often Stoli? Stoli was like a...
No.
You don't think so?
Vodka.
Stoli's a little more expensive.
Stoli's the plastic
is it?
bottle, I thought.
I thought
No.
Stoli was like a cheap vodka that people would get. But they're out of business.
You're right about Svedka. Svedka is a plastic bottle. And then Stoli went through that campaign when the Russia-Ukraine war was ramping up. That was like, hey, just so you know, I know you kind of think of us as Russian. We haven't been Russian in a very long time.
Yeah.
But
This says Stoli became a nightclub and bar staple as well as being popular in stores where a 750 ml bottle is $20.
Yeah, it was the
That's
cheap
cheap,
one.
right?
I totally remember. That was part of the Hunch Punch.
750 ml, is that like a normal size bottle of vodka?
Yeah.
And so $20 is cheap, man. Well, it wasn't enough to keep it around because the collapse is part of a bigger problem facing these spirits makers. And Kentucky Owl was expensive. It was about $400 a bottle. Both of those are shutting down because less people are drinking. Dry January is one thing that we're facing, but there's more stuff that's popping up that's also not good. And I got to tell you guys, can we not do this in January? It's a bad way to start the year for the liquor people and for all the businesses out there. This is a bad way to start a year.
February, the shorter month.
Yeah, February at the very least, because you got the 28 days. Or perhaps you can like put this in, like right before you buy a bunch of stuff in November and December. Like maybe like August or something. Put it in August or September. September's a short month.
That's banking on if the year's been okay enough leading up to that September. Last year, I think a lot of people went through so much stress that they're like, I will be drinking until the new year.
Well, no, this is another thing that they're doing. It's not just the no drink January. It's also no buy January. And they said Google searches for no buy January have hit a 5-year high as Gen Z and millennials sign up for this thrifty challenge. The challenge is to not buy anything. No non-essential purchases at all in the month of January. Nothing. So
why do you have to Google how to not buy stuff?
Well, I think they want to know the rules. They want to know, like,
no food, no water, no toilet paper.
What do you mean by non-essential? And they say, like, clothes, skincare products, or electronics for the entire 31 days of January. And so I tell you, like, you're already hitting the liquor companies. Now you're hitting every other business. And you're saying don't spend any money at all on this stuff because people are doing no buy January and no drink January and no. Well,
they sound like
November.
a good time.
That sounds like.
Does that mean you have to unsubscribe from your streaming services because you'd be buying stuff?
That's true.
Well, hold on. See if there's rules for no buy January that we can locate.
I think
behind a paywall.
I think when you entertain the idea of the dry January and say that February is a shorter month, I think most people start the dry January when they go back to work. It's not like they're watching New Year's Rockin' Eve and it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then they just close all their bottles and just stop for the month. I think you wait till like that next Monday or something that you return to work, and that's when you start your resolutions and when you start your dry January, your no buy or whatever it is. So it ends up being kind of just as short.
This says revised January no buy rules for no buy January. After having a meltdown over buying a roll of packing tape earlier today, I decided to revise my rules and physical tracker. I'm allowed one piece of clothing and one accessory for the whole month, and it must be within the monthly budget. Going down from 5 to 8 pieces of clothing a month and spending triple my clothes budget. Strongly encourage one and out. I'm allowed to eat out one time a week cheaply, less than $20, which is down from 3 times a week, this person says. Now, all other purchases that I've normally budgeted for are allowed, but I use the envelope method. So what's new is I'm not allowed to buy anything in any envelope category if I haven't already saved up for it for the month. In other words, each envelope has a daily spend average.
Oh, my gosh. By the time we get through all these rules, it's going to be February.
I get a hot pink sticker, my favorite color, on all days that I abide by the rules.
What?
I get a green sticker if I go over my daily
You're
envelope
giving
spend
yourself
average.
stickers, weirdo.
I get an orange sticker if I broke the rules blatantly or went over the monthly budget. These are children on Reddit.
Listen,
You're children, okay?
I did the envelope thing, but not for like daily spending. It was you put in an envelope, $1 the first day, $2 the second day, see where I'm going here, $3 the third day, and you're supposed to get $1,000 after that. And I've just been dipping into that every time I have to give someone a tip or need to use cash. So I've saved in 2 years about $50.
That is not ideal, but at least you're not. Do you think that you could benefit from doing something like this? Do you think you're wasting money?
I think it would have been nice at the thought that I completed that book. I didn't touch the money, but I spent more on buying the little envelopes than I did saving any money.
But do you think you waste money?
Yeah, me all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. But you wouldn't be interested in taking some time where you're like, okay, I'm going to cut out all this nonsense.
Oh, sure, I'd be interested, and then I would forget about it and buy something. I don't know. I'm a big with retail therapy these days.
Yeah. I do this. Once a year, I tend to take a moment and go like, all right, where is everything going? What can what am I not using anymore?
And I use ChatGPT that I pay for every month to help me sort that out. I'm going to do less pet financing this year. No more fancy food.
All right, we want to hear from you. Do you do this? Are you doing no buy January? You have any other comments on anything we've talked about today? Join us with a dispatch. Record yours at thenewsjunkie.com. Or send an email, tips at thenewsjunkie.com. When we come back, the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? A lot of weird and controversial news coming up in the video game world, and no word if anyone tried blowing the cartridge. The fate of Coyote vs. Acme remains a mystery, but Warner Bros. Said F it and is developing another live-action Looney Tunes. Plus, the nominees for this year's Razzies have been announced, and we've got a tie. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 8 p.m., it's Good Sauce with Ross and Joel. At 9, it's Real Laughs, followed by Real Music Weekends at 10 on Real Radio 104.1 and on your free iHeartRadio app.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And for our Wednesday, we are going to be expecting temperatures to be much more pleasant, even with a chilly start this morning. Temperatures will actually be climbing to near and above normal levels with a high of 73 degrees today in Orlando. We'll see a good amount of sunshine, too, with some slow increasing clouds as the afternoon wears on. And there's some rain chances that will be arriving as we head to late tonight and into our Thursday. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blinds.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make.
The next episode is coming up next on the show. Then we're going to get back into some more controversial things. We're going to have some fun things. I got some good content lined up for the final 2 hours of the show. Zach says, I had a lawyer tell me they used the Wile E. Coyote and Acme lawsuit in law school for an exercise. I wouldn't be surprised. Got about 3 minutes. Twitch, we have made no movement. Twitch is going to be the big holdup. Twitch, we have made no movement on our goal to unlock an after-show stream, aka an app. Secret Show's goal blown out of the water.
Hey, Russ Rollins here, guys. You know what? If your team
Let's see about YouTube.
it's time to get your edge back with Red
Okay, YouTube subs are up. We're 206 away from the YouTube sub goal, and that all will be handled. Let's keep the progress moving.
Doesn't mean that you gotta, feel old. Prescription testosterone restores your get up and go.
Sean, that's not true. What's not true?
Gain more muscle and less effort in the gym.
What's not true?
You're gonna sleep better and you're gonna love a little bit better, if you know what I mean. It's Red Mountain weight loss. Don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone.
2 Twitch subs were. Oh shoot! Is that not counted in the total that I see?
Testosterone and a GLP-1, it will burn that belly fat and you're gonna
Let me check. You guys are probably right.
GLP-1 medication, a $299 value when you start testosterone therapy only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Book your video appointment.
Did anybody claim those gifted subs?
Or dial #250 on your phone and say the keyword Red Mountain.
iHeartMedia presents the Fresh from Florida Groceries Giveaway. 50 lucky winners will each receive a $100 grocery
Hey, how'd it go?
voucher to indulge in Fresh from Florida goodness. Enter to win
Give me 1 second, okay?
/Fresh from Florida.
Can I get rid of this tab with the event?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Allergies, sinus infections, that's where Aspire Allergy and Sinus comes in.
Twitch just assigns them? Okay. I will have to check that because it doesn't show up where I was checking. But I'll put you down for 4.
I got your toothbrush for 20 cents.
A 20-cent toothbrush?
Yeah.
Do you not even care about my dental hygiene?
Well, it was originally $4.
Let me see. Folks, here's what we got from Courtney today. How much did you save?
To pay me for it.
Savings, $44.69 saved. That's pretty good.
Look at all the coupons I clipped.
You didn't actually clip them.
Yeah, I did on the app. All of these extra ones are all ones I clipped.
That's pretty good. $44.69 savings. You spent $122.
But I could have spent $160 something dollars.
Well, I'm glad you didn't.
$66.
Was there anybody cool there?
I was very nice today.
You were nice?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a new. You turned over a new leaf.
No.
You didn't say the N-word to anybody?
Sean.
I'll reset the counter. One day since Courtney said what?
Sean.
What? I have to go.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye. We're coming back.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex.
God bless everybody. Here we go.
No mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it. Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Ah. Use as directed.
Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure. Not kind of sure, not pretty sure, not a little sure, but super sure. The seismic shift is coming. Super sure, coming soon.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Cooking up today's lead stories. This is the News Junkie, Sean Wasson.
The world's most viral newsroom. It's us and you, the three best friends you never had, going through the most viral stories of the day. If you miss any of the show, subscribe to the podcast at thenewsjunkie.com. I got clips galore. I got another kind of ingenious idea that is headed to the theaters. I got more drama. I got angry people and happy people. We got a lot. We got a lot to get to here on the show today. Right now, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
I've done some things to baloney that aren't normal.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey, smoke weed every day. Hold up.
Hold up is right. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don, thatmortgageguydawn.com, and of course, the Home Loans Radio Show. If you are looking to refinance your beautiful home, maybe get some cash out and back in your pocket, pay some back taxes, start a business, or expand the one you already have, That Mortgage Guy Don is the expert and the friend that you could trust. So start the process today and get peace of mind right there at the edge of your fingertips by going to thatmortgageguydawn.com.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguydawn.com.
'Twas a mere 32 years ago, 1994. This gal right here. Lorena Bobbitt is right. Great guess, splitting those points. And in 94 on this day, Lorena Bobbitt was found not guilty by reason of temporary insanity for the old choppy de her husband pee-pee.
She was only
injustice.
only insane long enough to chop his wiener off,
Yes,
and then
and throw it in a
she
field.
ceased being insane.
That is correct. Her abusive ex later went on to make such fine films as John Wayne Bobbitt Uncut.
I thought one was Frankenpenis.
That was the last one I was going to say. Yeah, thanks so much. The Trial of Lorena Bobbitt and Frankenpenis. So, win-win. 6-7.
Do we ever find out if that cop turned gay from picking it up?
He did. Yeah.
Gay
He did.
as you get.
Immediately afterwards. You touch a random ween on the side of the road, it'll do it to you like
Especially if it's in a field and you're the one who found it. It's like Easter egg hunting.
Yeah.
Now we move on to present day, and congratulations, yet another record has been beat by this movie.
Zootopia.
No. I'm gonna get ya, demon.
K-pop Demon Hunter.
Oh, K-pop Demon Hunters, yeah.
That is correct, and they broke a new record for Netflix.
Damon and Ben Affleck, they were like, Netflix has different goals that you can hit for bonuses. And it sounds a little bit like iHeart sometimes. And like the top bonus that Netflix has is like 100%, the equivalent of 100% of Netflix accounts need to watch your show and then like watch it again. And like they thought, nobody's ever going to hit this. This is ridiculous. Like we need all of the subscribers or the equivalent of all the
Demon
subscribers.
Hunters.
And they literally did it. Like, that's how many people watched that movie on Netflix. It's crazy.
I didn't watch the whole thing, and I didn't watch it twice. And I'm most definitely a Netflix subscriber.
It doesn't mean that every Netflix viewer watched it. It means that so many people watched it that it was as if their entire
I see what you
base of subscribers watched it even more than
But you know why? It's because the kids.
Yeah, they watch it over and over again.
Once you become obsessed with it, just like how many times I'm sure a record is being broken by Witch Doctor because Jackson loves that song and he listens to it on repeat.
Yeah.
Witch Doctor.
That doesn't even include the first Bing Bang 10 Days of Viewing after its premiere on June 20th. They recently released their What We Watched report and a lot of K-pop. Ooh, ee, ooh, Bing Bang.
It's Ting Tang, isn't it?
It's Ting Tang.
Yeah.
Walla Walla Bing Bang.
Get out of here with a Bing Bang. It's Ting Tang.
Okay, just mix it up. I have weird Disney song dyslexia. As for TV shows, Wednesday Season 2 is the most watched with 124 million views, followed by Stranger Things Season 5 with 94 million views. But we have got a very important award show headed our way, and that is, of course, what?
The Golden Raspberries.
Yeah! Just the raspberries. Are they golden?
Thought they were.
Well, we got the nominees. Oscar nominations just a day away. Hollywood's annual reckoning with the film failures, have announced their latest round of nominees. What?
They're the Golden Raspberry Award.
Well, there you go. That's a raspberry too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Disney's live-action Snow White and the remake of War of the Worlds have tied for 6 nods for the Golden Raspberry Award.
Yikes.
Congratulations. So Disney Snow White, the 2025 remake that had Rachel Zegler as Snow White, Gal Gadot as Evil Queen, then the 7 computer-generated dwarf characters, that gets 6 nods, as well as the 7 computer-generated dwarf characters getting cited for both worst supporting actors and screen combo.
I'm going to throw a flag on the field
Go
here.
ahead.
Because as bad as they screwed up that whole Snow White thing, which should have just been printing money for Disney, but they got stupid and everything fell apart in the promotion of that. As bad as that was, have you guys seen any of that War of the Worlds movie?
No.
That was the one with the Prime was all up in it, right? And Ice Cube?
Yes. Ice Cube was a star. He never left the room he was in the whole time.
But it's a cult classic. It's going to be. Just wait.
It was a giant Amazon Prime commercial, and the director had the balls, the absolute balls, to say he wasn't told by Amazon to put the Amazon Prime commercial in there. He just did it because he thought it was a good fit.
Sure, yeah.
That's why. And I'm like, okay. So as bad as Snow White may have been, I really think War of the Worlds was the winner there.
We'll see. I guess when the Razzies come out, we also have psychological thriller Hurry Up Tomorrow, Star Trek Section 31, The Electric State, which I loved.
What is that? So that sounds like an area of Star Trek where all the poor people live.
No, what?
Star
Section
Trek
31 housing.
Oh, yeah, maybe. The Electric State I thought was so cute.
It was Chris Pratt, right?
Yeah, and Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah, it was not bad.
Just fun to say
I heard either side on that. I heard either it was like such a gigantic waste of money and this was a terrible movie,
very
or
expensive.
I heard it was like, oh, this was a fun ride and like a fun little action movie.
I thought it was cute. I don't know, I didn't consider the budget, but I did cry a little bit. We also have this is a good idea for sure. Good idea or good idea? The group
Good idea.
Thank you. Warner Bros. Discovery's stewardship of the Looney Tunes brand has been a bit rough. Can we all agree on that?
That's true. They had some problems with the movie they were trying to push out there.
Yes, they wrote off Coyote vs. Acme for tax purposes. They have shopped its library of classic cartoons off to Tubi. They sold distribution rights for Looney Tune movies like The Day the Earth Blew Up to companies like Ketchup Entertainment. All of that considered, is this surprising? Or maybe just this is how Hollywood works and we don't get it. According to reports, they're going to create a full-fledged film centered on this character right here.
Speedy Gonzalez.
Aye.
Is his cousin going to be in the movie?
The fat one?
What was the cousin's name?
Slowpoke?
Slowpoke Rodriguez?
Just for the record, when watching that documentary about Stranger Things, there was a scene that makes me concerned about this project because one of the kids had to run through the scene. And the kid ran, through the house to run away from the Demogorgon. And he goes, "Whoa!" One of the Duffer Brothers says to the actor, "It says, whoa, you were running fast. You were like Speedy Gonzalez." And the kid goes, "Who?"
Oh no!
Oh man!
Oh, it's official. We couldn't be more excited to have Gutierrez, who is the director and developing the screenplay. George R. Gutierrez, The Book of Life is one of his pieces of work.
All right.
To have him reimagining Speedy Gonzalez, one of our most beloved Looney Tune characters for today's global audience. It is worth mentioning, when it was originally created in the 1950s, that short, the first official short of Speedy Gonzalez, won a damn Oscar.
Wow. You know what he
Best
sounds
animated short. Go ahead.
What, do you know what Speedy Gonzalez says?
Yeah. Ay caramba.
No, that's Bart Simpson. Yeah. Do you know Sealand?
Yeah. Arriba, andale.
Arriba. Screwed it up at the end. Andre Arriba. Andale, Arriba. You get it. That's what he did. He was a man of few words. He just went fast.
Very fast.
That was his thing, mostly.
I hope Slowpoke makes the cut, though. And there's my time. Let's tell you what's happened on the boob tube. Or if you happen to be out and about, let's first say happy birthday to Moses.
Oh, yeah.
He's having free chicken parm, by the way. I don't know if you guys have checked the group chat.
Oh, if you hit up his social medias, yeah, there's...
Bus Decker's been hitting us up saying, you gotta get out of here. And I said, Bus, do you know we have a show going on? You planned it just like everyone else does during the show. But they're celebrating Mo's birthday by having some chicken parm. So go to his social media, just call Mo, and get the information. I think they're going to be out there till 2 p.m. But happy birthday, Moses. Love you long time.
Nice.
The Masked Singer on Fox tonight. Hollywood Squares. The Price is Right at night. Series premiere of The Beauty on Hulu. Series finale of Queer Eye on Netflix. Now it's just going to be an eye.
Wait, series finale? They're done with it?
Series finale.
Oh, they're all fighting. They all hate each other. They all bully each other.
One guy did not show up to the
interviews. Like one guy, one of the Queer Eye guys didn't show up to the interview, and then they made it a point. They were like, this person is not here right now. And he gives us this statement that his therapist has told him he should not show up.
One of there was like Today Show or The View where they sent a video. Like it's him like, hey guys, what's going on? Love it. I'm not with those assholes because my therapist told me not to.
This is why anytime you see somebody in your life that's like overly happy all the time, or anybody you see somebody on a show like that, and they're like, oh my God, we're just so happy all the time. They're liars. They're liars.
They're probably going through some stuff. Series premiere of Steel on Amazon, and you can catch Martin Short on Kimmel. Follow your dreams to me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. And most importantly, stay with me. America. Ay, ay, ay.
Smoke weed every day.
Let's go down memory lane here. Let's see. This is not
Hey, Jose. Instead, we try to catch the Speedy Gonzalez.
That's not even Slowpoke. That's like one of his pals or something.
That's a cat.
Yeah, that's a cat. Okay. Oh, so the cats that chase them are slower too there?
Yeah.
Here's Slowpoke. He's just walking.
Senor Slowpoke, you will be good with the chili peppers. Hey, Jose, something I forgot to tell.
You just shot him
in the face.
He just pulled out a gun.
Cartoons used to be different, man.
Yeah, a little bit.
Slowpoke doesn't need to run. He just pulls out a gun and just shoots you if you catch him. That's a crazy
good defense.
All right, there we go. Now we learned something.
I looked
today.
up the Queer Eye thing, and the headline on Washington Post says, Queer Eye ends in D.C. with tension, tears, and armpit Botox.
Why not? Oh, God. Never trust people that put on the happy face all the time. You're like, oh, I'm just a really happy person. All of them, they're angry little people. They are angry little people, and they can't be trusted. Keep your eyes on them closely. When we come back, we'll see what you got going on. We got some emails rolling in. We've also got more updates on some of the stuff happening out there in Minnesota. But I want to talk first about a boat captain that's in big trouble. Why? Well, you're going to find out. And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
There's a crash getting cleared up on Kennedy Boulevard at Forest City Road. Look out for crews still on the roadways clearing up that earlier accident where Orange Blossom oil change.
Hello.
Tip line at 866-676-8477 from the traffic center of James, Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster.
Hey, everybody. Skull mic is activated.
2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are
what's dumb?
friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Racing's North Turn Ponce Inlet.
Hello?
Is that on?
Yeah, you want me to turn it off?
Yeah.
Hang on, folks. She has to say something offensive. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with black people myself, but what? I just turned it back on. I had it off. She didn't say anything. She loves black people. All right, I'm looking at the activity feed for Twitch. I have 4 gifted subs. Thank you, AJ Soup, and thank you, Janine. Thank you for gifting these subs. God bless you. I've removed those from the list. That means all we need is 9 more subs over on the Twitch side. And then we can move on to just YouTube. Chat, be honest here. Be honest. You're out at sea on your boat. You're floating around in the ocean at sea. You got your fishing poles. It's just you and your very best friend, nobody else. And you look over and you go, oh my God, do you see this? And out there in the ocean, right next to your boat, you see a big bundle of something. You look a bit closer, and on closer inspection, you know what you got your hands on. It's a whole bunch of cocaine floating in the ocean. Kilos and kilos of it. Is there any part of you that would say, if I take just a little bit of this, no one will ever notice? There's hundreds of kilos here. I'll take one and get in my boat, drive out of here, headed back in the ocean, and the cartels are nowhere in sight. They're not looking at me. The cops don't know about this. Would you do it? Sean wants us to be honest. You bet your ass I do. I expect you guys to be honest. I expect that much from you. Square groupers? I need the money. It's in international water.
218-8877. 800-218-8877. That's 800-218-8877.
You can feel the excitement in the air.
I've taken some. Take a little bit. No, take it all. Hell yeah. Miss Doug says no, it's probably laced with fentanyl. Well, you don't have to take it, Miss Doug. Although I guess you'd have to shoulder the burden of wondering if these drugs that you were putting out onto the streets to enrich yourself were going to kill somebody. I got another question for you when we come back on the show. I'm interested to get your opinion on this, okay?
Into land just 2 miles off I-4. DeLand at Ocala. RCHill.com. RCHill.com.
Dude, you got to find out if it's laced with anything. Never carry more than you can eat. If you're pulled over. Yeah, but if you eat a whole bunch of that stuff, you're gonna die. You will literally die.
Home water solutions today.
Boof
We
it.
can't live without water, but we can take actions today to make it safer and healthier. Leave home water.
I would be scared there's an Apple tag in it. That's fair, I think. That's fair. It's 2026. They could fill those things with Apple tags if they wanted to.
Solutions can design a whole home system and expertly install it in as little as 1 day. With Leaf Home Water Solutions,
Better than getting a ticket?
each drop of water from every tap.
I'm guessing he could move it?
And safer for you.
Okay. I'm not saying I could move it, but
We can take actions today.
let's get real.
Family's water safer with Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Chat, if you had 1 kilo right now, do you think you could move it? Yes or no? If somebody randomly in a dark alley gave you no fentanyl, no nothing, here's some great street stuff, and they gave you 1 kilo, and they're like, I know somebody you could, well, they didn't tell you, but they said, here's 1 kilo, go ahead. Could you get rid of it? No? Bootsy, you don't know anybody? I know you know one person. That would be like, all right, let's get him on the line. Hey, Sean, excluding me, would you know somebody? Would you be able to get rid of it? Absolutely, says Florida Mama.
Before they leave. Follow Follow Wassy's Meat Market on Instagram.
I know you, so yeah?
Wassy'sMeatMarket.com.
Come on, everybody knows one person, right? That you would call and you'd go, hey, not for nothing, but I got a kilo. And I need to get rid of this. Can you give me some money for it? Everybody's got that person, right? All right, we're coming back right now. Here we go.
DayQuil Intense Flu, the daytime coughing, aching fever, under your flu medicine. Uses directed, keep out of reach of children.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM, HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Gold. G-O-L-D. Gold. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
Came up with that all by myself. Didn't steal it from somebody on Twitch who had the idea. But there were a lot of people who took a picture of their merch that they were wearing today on Aware of the Show Wednesday. So we'll take a look. We'll see what we got from those submissions just a bit. Time for honesty. And I mean it, okay? The two of you in particular.
Such a lonely word.
I need you to be honest about this. Now, be careful how you answer this question. I'm only looking to start for a yes or a no. And it's related to a story that's out there. This is a true story. And I want you to run yourself through the paces on this too, because I want to see what you would think. Here's the story from WEAR News, an ABC affiliate. And it says, a Florida Keys boat captain is in trouble. This boat captain in the Florida Keys is accused of selling kilos of cocaine found at sea. And
the answer is yes.
Sold by
they
the
show,
kilo?
Yeah, look, take a look. Show them, Celine. They show like these big old kilos that this dude, I guess, found.
Also, his mugshot's like, I don't know you that. I don't know you got that.
Bet you're wondering how I got here.
He found? So this is the story that we've been telling for years where it's like, oh my gosh, the guy found 15,000 pounds, 10,000 pounds.
Bingo, yeah. A 65-year-old Florida Keys boat captain was arrested Monday after authorities say he was selling kilos of drugs that he found at sea. Following an investigation by the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, deputies say they nabbed Bradford Picarello, who had 23 kilos on his 38-foot vessel. He had $8,000 in cash and a .40 caliber handgun with him. He was booked into the jail. They found out that he had found this at sea, and he was trying to offload it. Now, honesty time, all right? Everybody. No, don't say too much. Be careful. I just need a yes or a no from you. If you stumbled upon 1 kilo of the white powder, do you think you would know a person to offload it to?
Oh, that's not.
Don't say who the person is.
Yeah, but even the answer could get us in trouble.
Do you think you know somebody somewhere in your life that you met where you could get on the phone and you could dump this if you found a kilo of the white stuff?
There was a point where, yes.
Somebody.
I don't know if still, though.
I think I could.
I know someone who knows someone who knows someone who probably knows someone. You know what I'm saying?
I think I know someone who could probably get rid of it. Like, let me be clear.
I know someone who would do all of it.
I know a lot of those people. I don't know somebody personally, but like I know of a person, right? Like I know of a person. I've never really had a lot of conversations with them, but I see them time and again. And I guarantee you, if I brought a kilo of the white stuff to them, that I could go, here you go. You give me the money, I'll give you a good deal, and you take this away. Do you think the average person knows somebody who, if they stumbled upon a kilo, they would be able to get rid of it?
The average
person?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you live in a city.
Yeah, like if
Yes.
if you are in traffic and there's 50 cars around you, like how many of them would have somebody who'd be like, all right, all I got to do is make a phone call?
What time
this
is it?
person?
Yeah. Are they
you're
available
kidding
between the
yourself,
hours
man.
of 2 a.m. and 5 a.m.?
Both of you. I'm not saying that you've talked to this person or hung out with this person ever, if maybe not in the
I
last
lived
20
in the
years.
same apartment complex as one of them. And we
There's
all saw
somebody.
his naked erect.
Okay, all right. See, like, if you contact some person that even if they don't know how to do it, they'll be like, I got you. I know somebody. You could give the boat stuff to them, and they'll get rid of it from here. I'm telling you. LaHava Rasa said Sean is saying he's connected to the black market. I'm not saying that. All right. Here's what I'm saying. There's somebody that I know of that seems like a guy who could do that. Right. And I have reason to believe he would be a guy that could do that. Right. I've never talked to him about this. I'm not saying I have any connections to the black market. I'm just saying I want everybody to ask themselves and give me a dispatch or email on this. If you stumbled upon a random kilo of this stuff, do you think you would have somebody in your phone or somebody that you know that you could offload it to and get money? Because I think most people probably know at least one person. Like the troublesome person that they say, all right, there you go.
Is your one chance, pal.
Yeah, I don't talk to you much, but you seem like the guy.
Well, sometimes a little bit of, stereotyping.
What?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Or just like judging a book by its cover. But stereotyping was the wrong word. But there's sometimes a little bit of judging the book by its cover. It helps out, that guy looks like a
sniffy friend.
That guy looks like he can get rid of a kilo, I told you guys the story of my friends who went to Vegas and they were checking into their hotel and they're like, I don't know where we're going to get drugs, and they noticed that their bellhop had an ankle bracelet on, like ankle monitor, and they were
bracelet and monitor.
I know. That's why I corrected myself.
Different things.
This guy had an ankle monitor on, and they said
ankle bracelet's definitely marijuana.
They said, would it be like judgy of us? Would we be sort of stereotyping this guy because we know based on the fact that he's got this ankle monitor on that he's definitely committed crimes? Maybe he knows where to get the drugs, and that guy delivered drugs to their hotel room door.
Doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if
those were the daytime drugs. Then he delivered the nighttime drugs later on that day.
In an effort to do some sort of viral marketing campaign, this guy might have been wearing a fake ankle monitor just to be like, this might send the signal out that I'm looking for. And it did. All right. If you got an ankle monitor, you know a person. You know somebody who could do this. BDMX Con, they might know. If they're connected enough to move weight, they're too connected to offload volume from an unrelated acquaintance. Maybe not. But if you know somebody, you're like, dude, this is weird as hell. Tell me no. But I was out on my boat and one of these packages floated by me, and I know what it is, and I need some place to get rid of it right now. I think more people than not would have at least one contact that they could Hail Mary.
You're also risking having the people who put it in the ocean finding out, no?
You are. You're always risking that when it comes to grabbing a hold of somebody else's stuff floating in the ocean. 100% that's going to be on the radar of somebody's missing it. Let's put it that way, right? Like if there's a whole bunch of this stuff that is floating around in the ocean, there's a person who's looking for it and is willing to kill you for it. Okay, we've got
that got dark fast.
Fun question.
I think it's a good question. I honestly think it's a good question. It's like say, hey, it doesn't. I don't think it reflects on whether or not you're a nefarious type.
But it doesn't, because it's like, hey, it's sort of like how connected are you? How not connected, but like, do you think you could pull this off, or do you think you're just way too clueless? It's a much more interesting and updated version of just going like, hey, Sean, if I said that I need you, life or death situation, in the next 12 hours to procure heroin, could you do it?
I got you, bud. I got you. I don't know anybody that does heroin, and I don't know a heroin dealer, but I got a couple of people I could call, and that those people could call some people, and the risk is high that we're going to get caught doing this because I'm not good at breaking the law like this. But I at least have like a starting call. I have a person in my mind right now. Yes, yeah, that I could go, hey, this person's going to know.
Give me their number.
The next
Put them
conversation.
on the air.
No, somebody says it's Josh, isn't it? It's not. No, we're not naming
that man
people.
Gets way too nervous.
It's not him. I'm just saying that we all know at least one person. We might not even be friends with them. We might just know them. And you're like, oh, that guy. There was a guy I saw the other day at the bar that was so out of it on something that he was foaming at the mouth. He had white
And
around
that's
the
who you
sides
want
of
to
his
trust to move a kilo?
Not necessarily, but
Yeah, he's
desperate
going to move the
times.
whole thing into his nose.
Good God.
I'll be fair about this. I'll split all the money evenly, completely fair. I think everybody has one person that they know that they could ship this off to. Let us know what you think. Send a dispatch over at
Law enforcement.
thenewsjunkie.com. No, don't rat out anybody. Don't say, don't give anything away on yourself. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. And Jim from Connecticut says, I very much like what you were proposing on the show yesterday when you were offering compromises. Oh, let's make a deal? Yeah. He says, when you were offering compromises on the show, I very much like what you were proposing. I hope the next politician or political direction is similar to that. We really need it. Thank you, Jim, PhD, Connecticut, he says. Thank you, Jim. Careful out there. Enjoy yourself. I mean, I think the truth of the matter is, in a world full of extremist politics where it seems sometimes like half the people want communism and half the people want Trump to be a dictator, none of that is true, okay? None of that is true at all. These are fringe, loud people on the edges. They make up about 10% on either side of our voters, or just people in the American populace. And the vast majority of people are center-aligned and don't even really care about teams. They're not loud. They don't complain. They're not obnoxious. They don't demand that everybody agree with them. They don't force corporations to donate to their favorite causes. They live life. They enjoy things.
They're exhausted by everyone else.
They're endlessly exhausted by all of the annoying, very political people all of the time. But that is the more common route. And the troublesome thing is that most people, or a lot of people still, either don't vote or don't give enough hope to a politician who would say, here's what I want to do. But that's why I said that. And I'll bring up more of these things as the show goes on, because I think there are some of these things where it's like, hey, isn't there some common ground here? And we'll find more of that along the way. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. This is Allie who emails the show. Hey, junkies, I didn't listen to the show yesterday, so this email may be a moot point. That means useless and worth just tossing away. Already discussed, she said, if you already addressed it. I was very disappointed at Sean's one-sided take, she said, about what's going on in Minnesota. It's important to see some people are unhinged, but that isn't everyone. Well, I mean, of course not. And here's the problem. A lot of times people will come at me. In fact, I would say most times people come at me with something that they think I said, or something that they're trying to read in deeper messaging from what I'm saying, and almost never what I said. So obviously it's not everybody in Minnesota. As I said, many more people in Minnesota are living their life, going to work, doing all these things, ignoring all of this stuff that's going on. But there are some crazy ass people who are like seeing visions of ICE officers dancing through their heads and running around and confronting people who have nothing to do with ICE.
You guys see him take down that dancing fox the other day?
No. Oh, dancing fox.
That sounds like there's something in someone's head. What do you mean, a dancing fox?
What am I missing?
Well, finish your point, and I'll find the video.
So this person says, denying that there have been plenty of documented incidents where ICE agents are violating citizens' rights makes you sound like Glenn Beck. He makes me want to listen to Eminem's Puke song on repeat. Not really for his views, it's more about his delivery, she says. Again, I didn't say that. I actually said ICE has terrible PR. It's a major problem for them. I said that there are plenty of incidents, I've talked about this before on the show, where I've seen videos of ICE that make me incredibly uncomfortable. I don't think there was any need for, what was it, Renee Good to die. I've said that multiple times on the show. I think the officer could have easily avoided that vehicle. I think she also was very much in the wrong and very much fueled up by these politicians that are convincing people that federal agents don't have the right to arrest people for immigration crimes. They do, you know. These are just true things. The problem is, as you're fighting through this landscape of people, you have people who are super passionate who literally have no idea what they're talking about, right? And then you have people who, like I just stated, they'll come after me for things that they think I'm saying, or they think like I secretly believe. I had a dude one time come up to me at a bar, folks. This is just like a glimpse into my life. This was maybe 10 years ago or something, right? And this dude comes up to me, this black dude in a bar, and he was like, "You're racist." And I said, "You think I'm racist?" And he's like, yeah. You know, I listen to the show. I've heard the show a whole bunch of times. I know about the show. You're racist. And I go, "Tell me why. Give me any example. If you're saying very clearly that you think that I'm racist, give me like any example you could possibly think of, anything I've said that's been even moderately racist or would make you think that I'm racist." And he goes, "I have no idea. I just feel it. I get the feeling that you're racist," which is crazy, right? But this is how a lot of people operate. We have a bunch of people.
It's a hell of a feeling to put on somebody.
And they don't care. They don't care because that's the big division in this country. I've mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning again. The biggest division in this country is not between red and blue, Republicans, Democrats, left wing and right wing, people who are online or not very online. The big city people and country people. The biggest difference between people currently in the United States of America is people who operate off of emotion and vibes and people who operate in a rational way. And there are a lot of people who do that. They react to things that you didn't say. They have no evidence to believe the things that they believe, but boy, do they believe it. You know, they believe these things in their core. So I think if we sat down, Allie, you'd probably find that we probably agree on much more than we disagree. I think that ICE, I'll say it again, is terrible at PR, should only, in my opinion, be focused on people who are the most extreme offenders of this, people who are violent offenders, and the other people I end up feeling bad for. I'm just being real with you. I end up feeling bad for these people because sometimes people get caught up in the net here who politicians who were in charge in this country for 40 years plus encouraged them in many ways to come across the border illegally. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. They came over with their families. They wanted to get a better opportunity. They ended up over here. Maybe they've been here for 12 years. Maybe they've been here for 20 years. Maybe they have kids. Maybe they have jobs and bank accounts and all of this stuff. And even though they did it in a way that I don't support, that's illegal, even though I wouldn't want them to have any voting rights, even though I would want to make sure they're on the system and pay taxes and stuff, like I don't want rando lawn people. I don't want rando people who made their way into this country and worked their way up the chain at some corporation, even though they're here illegally. I don't necessarily want all these people just ejected. I want the people who legit are violent offenders ejected. And I do see some crazies who are even trying to protect them. So this is why I said, like, to me, the deal that you can make on this, which seems so clear and obvious to me, is that you would say, hey, to folks on the right, can we dial this down? Can we actually put our focus on those limited people who are offenders and say that if anybody commits a crime, then after that, they'll be adios muchachoed out of this country. And you'll say, we'll deal with them quickly. And in exchange, folks who are on the left will say, we'll finally get serious about the border. We'll secure the border. We'll make sure that the immigration that's happening is above board and we know who's coming into the country. And we'll take this serious for once and make an agreement on that. Like, I think that's where most people actually are on these issues. So thank you for the email. I have a pretty good idea of what's going on with that situation, not just in Minnesota, but overall in the country. And I think most people have turned, or the majority of people, more than 50%, that is to say, of people who are hearing the sound of my voice, have probably turned on ICE because they hear a lot of terrible things. They see a lot of terrible videos, and ICE is getting their ass kicked in the PR war. It's as simple as that. Some of them just fundamentally disagree with the enforcement to begin with, but some of them just It's just a battle, an info war, if you will. An info war, perhaps.
I've heard of that kind of war before. Check your text messages.
What the hell were you talking about? With a fox or something?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Dancing fox gets taken down by ice. All right.
So you
This is a
can't fox in
demonstrator
the streets anymore?
wearing a fox mask. He's in the middle of the road. Oh, he's either streaming or filming himself.
At
Is
least
that a tip bucket?
it might be. At least one news outlet reported that he was asked to leave before they all just decided.
Oh, no.
Here
They're
it
coming
comes.
in. The fox doesn't see him coming.
The fox said,
Fox down.
That definitely needed 7 cops.
I'm going to stop them from screaming because who knows what they're going to say. These people have very, very potty mouths. They are known to curse.
I want to find that fox's stream because that would have been good.
The demonstrator wearing a fox mask was filmed dancing at a protest outside the Whipple Federal Building in St. Paul, Minnesota. He was detained. The incident and arrest unfolded amid ongoing demonstrations against ICE. There you go. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I got a bunch of clips that I want to work into, including a very, very strange one. A very, very strange clip. I've never heard this before, but somebody said it like it was true. What is it? You're going to hear that. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
AI can't feel dread or regret or existential panic. We've got that market covered. Real Radio 104.1. Guaranteed human.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Crews are on the roadways clearing up an accident blocking all. There's also a
God bless.
cleared up on Kennedy Boulevard at Forest City Road. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477 from the traffic center of James, Birmingham.
Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Hey, congrats to the person that claimed the water bottle, the News Junkie water bottle earlier. I'll get that sent out very quickly here. Twitch, do we have any updates? Are we still at 9?
It's not about changing up everything. You just got to show up.
We blasted through our secret shows goal. Our YouTube goal is going to be a harder one, but we're going to get there, YouTubers. Just subscribe, it's free. And then Twitch, we need 9 more subs. Do resubs count? Yes, resubs count. Have we had any resubs today? Hang on.
Oviedo, Winter Park, Winter Garden, and Windermere, and you can book online at hammernailsgrooming.com. And when you do, mention my name, C-Lane, and Real Radio 104.1. They're offering a new year reset. That's a
resub
upgrade on your first visit.
We had a resub today too. So that brings us down to 8.
Hammer and Nails. Come as you are, leave as you want to be.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
So we need 8 Twitch subs, and resubs do count. Gifted subs do count. And then we need to get YouTube to 27,500, which YouTube is almost at 27,300. 200. Folks, if you're watching this on demand, take just a moment of time and hit that subscribe button over on YouTube. Thank you for doing it.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Angel from the Monsters. Are you looking for fresh pasta? The Neapolitan style pizza, the Neapolitan style with the double zero flour.
Zach says on YouTube, do you think Vanilla Ice has made any more money from the MAGA uptick in his song Ice Ice Baby? I do not. No. No. Though he has made a lot of money over the years off that song. He made himself a very wealthy man over the years.
Or join us for Wine Down Wednesday with half-price wine at dinner on Wednesdays. Antica Wood Fire Pizza and Market in Altamont Springs. Just put Antica, A-N-T-I.
Yeah, I think outside of the crazies, one of the problems is ICE just going out and responding to the crazies and not doing enough to get their messaging out and say, like, look, ICE is not new. ICE existed when you weren't complaining and freaking out under Biden. They deported all kinds of people all the time. In the same way, they went out and they apprehended people. This occurred under Obama. This occurred under the first Trump administration. This should say ICE occurred back when it was previously called INS. ICE is not new. And then here are the people, very clearly, that we have been arresting and targeted. They get hung up. And then people hang on words like J.D. Vance said, well, they're in the neighborhood going door to door. Now, they're not going door to door. They can't legally just go door to door. You don't have to open your door up for somebody who doesn't have some sort of warrant for you. But J.D. Vance said that, and so then that's like, oh, they're going door to door trying to find people who are, landscapers. Everyone make fake accounts to subscribe? No! We have enough people. We have a strong stream. And the crazy thing is, easily, with the amount of people that watch every single stream each day, we should be able to blast past this. So if you are watching the stream, if you're on your TV or whatever, just pause, hit subscribe, and then you're good. Miguel says the difference is the way it's been done. I mean, not really. You know what the difference is, Miguel? I'm just being honest with you. The difference, Miguel, is that in the past, I can't think of many circumstances where there have been people trying to physically stop the officers from conducting these raids or doing these things. There has not been, outside of maybe the last 5 years, people who have been actively trying to stop the ICE officers from doing it. Chasing them around, that's new. That has not been a thing, or at least not a commonplace thing. Oh, we're coming back.
With QuickBooks.
The big thing about working in tech is that it's ever evolving, ever changing. Everyone's a rookie. That's how fast the industry is changing. So what I'm really excited about is to be part of that change.
Listen to Mind the Business, small business success stories on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Mind the Business and start listening on the free iHeartRadio app today.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Gold. G-O-L-D. Gold. Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
When good things go bad, bad things make headlines. This is the...
I'll explain in a moment. Welcome to the show. It's the News Junkie. Welcome to the world's most viral newsroom. And you can find all the links you might need if you'd like to watch the show, #1, over on thenewsjunkie.com. You'll see YouTube and Twitch links over there, especially when we're live. And even more than that, you can see everything about the show that you've missed, like the podcast and the video streams from each day. The video streams, for those of you who don't know, it's just right there in featured. So it's like a featured strip, and you can click on it, and you can see the whole video stream with even the extra Skull Mike content and stuff from each day. So thank you for subscribing. Everybody who has done that over the last weeks, months, years even, thank you for doing that. Those of you who haven't, take a moment, go to thenewsjunkie.com or go to youtube.com/thenewsjunkie and hit that subscribe button. We got to be tougher than this. I saw that there were some people upset, little whiny babies, I will say, over the fact that Greenlanders, is that what they call themselves, Greenlanders? Greenlanders.
Sounds about right.
People in Greenland have been mocking Americans. And let me see if I can bring up some examples of this for those of you watching. Okay, here it is. All right. So Greenlanders have been responding to everything going on by mocking Americans by pretending to be fentanyl zombies. And in their trend, it's like bringing American culture to Greenland. And they pretend like they're on the streets of like Philadelphia or something, and they're doing that thing where you're just about to fall over, but you're not going to fall over because you got the fentanyl thing.
Yeah.
And I will say, why would you ever get mad about this?
Are there no drugs in Greenland?
I've made jokes about taking their country. Like it's fair for Greenland to make jokes about the United States of America. Yeah. And for the record,
if somebody wants to make jokes about how people are doing these fentanyl hangs in the street in the United States of America, there is no better criticism for us to listen to in this country, because we should be made fun of for that. It's disgusting. It's sad. It's depraved. And every city that allows this crap to happen should be watching this. I'm glad that they do this, but I'm not sensitive about it. It's totally fine for people in Greenland who are at the center of all this stuff to respond by making fun of Americans and even what they think is American culture. And I will tell you this at the end of the day, Greenland, you can make all the jokes you want. It is a miserable, miserable atmosphere living in your cold-ass country. Here's my response.
Look how dressed you had to get just to make fun of us.
Yeah, hold on. Greenland current temp. This is my response to you, Greenland people. This is the heat of the day, and it's 27 degrees Fahrenheit. It doesn't look any better over the long run in Greenland, I don't think. In Nuuk, N-U-U-K. Find out how I can say that. N-U-U-K.
Nuuk. 17
degrees in Asiat. I can't say any of these names. Nuuk is 32. It's one of their warmer spots right
there
now.
We go. I'm going to just play it for my computer. Probably won't be able to hear it, but let's see. Nuuk. Like a nuke.
Nuuk. N-U-U-K. Nuuk and Sermersuk. Jesus, guys. It feels like it's 14 degrees in the shade. The air quality's poor. You have 23-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah, tell him, Sean.
You're living in the middle of a big snowy nothingness, okay? I'm already of the opinion that we should abandon Canada because most of it's unlivable nonsense, okay? So my response to you is your weather is bad enough to deal with me having any president that you could ever imagine.
Are they going to pull up our weather that's happening this weekend?
Not here, because our weather is beautiful compared to theirs.
What about our good friends in Rochester?
Will always be. Those folks are probably not. They might be a little cooler, actually, because the weather on the East Coast has been rough this week. But the point is, Greenland never gets out of it. Greenland never ducks out of it. What's the hottest day in Greenland? 80 degrees? Right? Like the high on their hottest day.
All right.
They don't even get the sun.
In Greenland.
Yes, there's another insult for you, Greenland people. You can't mock us in the daylight. You can't mock us in the daylight because you only have like an hour of it or something. If you have that. What'd you say? 80 what?
It said the hottest recorded temperature was 86.2 Fahrenheit, with specific record highs often cited for locations like
that's pathetic.
Manitsuk and Nuuk. The official records can vary by station review.
The average hottest days usually fall in July, with average highs around 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Damn.
God,
but they're used to that, too. We would not survive. Ain't no way. Do they not get the sun all that much, too? Or
no, they don't. They don't get the sun very much. They're too far north for all of that.
They have to have drugs there.
They have some. I've read a little bit about this, but not that much. There is not a lot in terms of drugs. There's only 50,000 people.
But in cold places, like super cold, they don't have a lot of sun. Alaska, for example, they love their meth. Do they not?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Alaska is very, very different. Alaska also is, connected to Canada, and, there's people who run drugs through Alaska all the time. Alaska has drugs crazy. Alaska has alcoholics crazy. Greenland, from what I can tell, and anybody else who has been there or, lived there or whatever can correct me if I'm wrong, has very little, I think, in the way of contraband like that, because it's hard to get in. They're not connected to anything else, and they got only a few cities. But Greenland locals are mocking Americans for fentanyl use in the savage video trend, some of them being viewed as many as 7 million times. Over this clip that I saw, I've never heard anybody say this before, but Gavin Newsom, who was talking, I don't know where he was. Is he in Davos? Gavin Newsom? I think he might have been over there. Last thing he said was he does this thing that a lot of people like Gavin Newsom do, which is weird to me, where they go, I'm upset with European leaders because they don't stand up enough to the American president. And he said they need knee pads, which is, as it so often is with people like Gavin Newsom, it's a gay joke. Like, they're on their knees orally pleasing the president of the United States of America. And so he said that, but this is a different clip. And I haven't listened to the whole thing yet, but it seems weird from what I'm seeing. Let's listen.
Do you have a message for Europeans who are concerned about the messages from the White House around Greenland this week?
Yeah, it's time to buck up.
What do you say?
Buck
Time
up.
to buck up. It's time to buck up.
It's time to get serious.
Time to get serious.
And stop being complicit. It's time to stand tall and firm, have a backbone. I've seen this in the United States. The supine Congress playing both sides. Say one thing on a text or a tweet, and another publicly. It's time to have principles. It's time to stand tall and strong.
Does that mean responding with
tariffs? Time to stand united.
Okay.
You make that determination. I don't make that determination.
But when you say standing tall, what do you mean?
Just I can't take this complicity. People rolling over. I should have brought a bunch of knee pads for all the world leaders.
Okay, see, there's where he drops the knee pads comment. But he gets into a comment about a T-Rex here, which is not something that I had heard of before. Let's wait till he gets to that.
I mean, handing out crowns and this is pathetic. Nobel Prizes, they're being given away. I mean, it's just pathetic.
Trump didn't get a Nobel Prize?
People understand how pathetic they look.
Oh, I think maybe he's talking about the woman who
gave
got
her
the Nobel
yeah.
Prize and gave her prize to him, which I think that's what he's talking about.
And the world stage. I mean, at least from an American perspective, it's embarrassing.
So what should Europe be doing?
You should decide, the Europeans should decide for themselves what to do. But one thing they can't do is what they've been doing. And they've been playing. This guy's playing folks for fools. And it's embarrassing.
Europeans think this is diplomacy and this will ultimately
this is
work.
Diplomacy with Donald Trump? He's a T-Rex. You mate with him or he devours you.
You mate with him or he devours you. He's a T-Rex. I have not heard this about the Tyrannosaurus Rex before.
I didn't know that we knew that much about the mating habits of dinosaurs on account of fossils.
Right.
Thing?
But we do know T-Rex. They had sharp teeth, and according to Jurassic Park, the
Little
documentary,
arms.
very short arms, and were angry.
And they'll eat you if you're on the toilet. But I did not hear, and maybe this is something that's very commonplace. Maybe you guys know about this and I don't. But I've never heard that T-Rexes, you either defeat them or you either mate with him or he devours you. He says, diplomacy with Donald Trump, he's a T-Rex, you mate with him or he devours you. That's a first for me. I had not heard that before. When we come back, jury duty, we'll get to that. And also, I told you, Hollywood has pushed out a new, very, very strange, but I find interesting idea for a movie. I want to present this to you, and you guys tell me if you would watch this or not. All right, it's an interesting idea for a movie. That and jury duty coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is former Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Allstate.
NFL news, former Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel, according to reports, is expected to become the new offensive coordinator for the LA Chargers. Basketball, the Magic, after the 2 games overseas against the Grizzlies, will be back home tomorrow night taking on Charlotte. In college hoops, it was a rough night for UCF. They lost by 30 points at Iowa State. Also last night, number 16 Florida, a winner, taking down LSU. I'm Matt McCoy.
First, for a quote today, you're in good hands with Allstate.
The process of shopping for a mortgage can be complicated.
So great stories. One from the airlines that's going to blow you away when we come back. And one, a new movie idea that I want to see how you guys feel about it. That's coming up next.
Have access to dozens of wholesale banks competing for your business. And wholesale banks only loan through mortgage brokers.
We need a new main character, for God's sake. The ICE story being the major story almost all year long in 2026 is out of control.
Apply now. Go to thatmortgageguydawn.com and get a quote or get a free analysis.
I need a better story.
Thatmortgageguydawn.com. Peace of mind, right there at your fingertips.
Don't miss the boat compare your quote with thatmortgageguydawn.com.
In here from a new old by Amber.
Yo, I saw, does anybody know who Megan Trainor is? You guys know who Megan Trainor is? It's all about that bass. That lady? I don't know her other song. She's got other songs too. She recently had like a glow up, lost a bunch of weight, got some fake boobs, I think. Meghan Trainor, you guys know who she is. Meghan Trainor is going viral today because she just had a baby via surrogate. And the first thing that people were upset by was that she was in a photograph of it's her with like her shirt off, with a newborn baby on her chest. And people were like, she had this baby via surrogate. What is she doing? She's pretending like she had this baby. This is one of those cases where people are stupid. And they don't understand that even if a baby's born via surrogate, there's at least some science that shows you skin-to-skin contact is like a valuable thing. For the baby to be born, and then the person that's going to be their mother, put the baby on directly on the skin on their chest. I've even seen some of the gays doing this. I've seen the gay dudes, like, you know, the baby afterwards, after the surrogate gives birth, the baby is on the gay guy's dad on his skin. Or in one very weird example, the man climbed up in on the bed or the table where the baby was born and then put the baby on top of himself there. That was a little weirder. But that's not weird, right? To have a baby pushed up against the skin of the person who's going to be caring for that child for the rest of their life is not weird. I can't stay too much more quiet about the amount of celebrities in Hollywood in particular that are having babies via surrogacy. And I have no problem with surrogacy. I think it's a beautiful thing. But I do not personally think surrogacy should be used for somebody who is like, well, I don't want that to happen to my body. I find it to be traumatic for me to put myself through that. And I think that's what's happening. Like, I think literally people are paying for someone else to have their biological child in Hollywood. I think it's become commonplace. I think that's worthy of criticism, personally. Surrogacy should be for people who cannot have their own children. Surrogacy should be for somebody who's like, hey, if you do give birth to this child, either because of age or health or whatever, you actually put your life at risk and you may die during childbirth. Surrogacy is good for all those things. But surrogacy should not just be like, damn, I don't want to get those stretch marks. I don't want to go through that myself. Personally, I don't like it. And then you have people like Paris Hilton who did it twice in a row. Paris Hilton had like I think she may have had two simultaneous surrogates. They give birth to her little Megamind baby. God bless him. I hope he's adorable now. And then Paris Hilton, when questioned about using surrogates instead of having the baby herself, was like, I was sexually assaulted. Which is the equivalent of a scene from The Office. It's like, come on. As a medical necessity, it's awesome. As a matter of ease and convenience, it's disgustingly exploitative. Yes, true. Yes. You're like, why are you using a surrogate? Is it a medical necessity? Or are you using a surrogate because, I don't want to, kind of just want the baby to be delivered to me? They'll grow into that huge noggin? Maybe. Surrogates like the money shot, so who cares who pays them? No. No. So you're saying if poor people are interested in making money and rich people want to utilize them as husks to do the literal labor, the literal labor of bringing them a child into this world, it's okay because they're okay with the money? No. No. Everything's not always okay just because there's a financial arrangement. If somebody says, I want to pay a doctor $10,000 to cut off all my arms, should we allow that person to do that? Should we allow them to cut off all of their arms and legs because they want... That's a literal thing that people try to do. No. Should we allow poor people who are happy with the trade-off to sell their organs to rich people? No, obviously we shouldn't do these things. So it's not just as simple as like, is it a financial agreement that they're okay with? No. It could still be exploitative, 100%. Hey, the illegal immigrant wants to work for me for $2 an hour. Why don't you mind your own business? We made a deal. He's happy with the money for the labor. No, it's not right. Come on.
Guaranteed or your subscription money back. Resolve to make your identity, health, and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Visit LifeLock.com and save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
It's a crime to pay more than a dime. One dime down at RC Hill Mitsubishi in DeLand. Just go to rchill.com.
Hear it here first. Then everyone else will catch up in a week or 2 or 4. You're listening.
Learn more about the show. Go to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. Secret Show's finally back this week. In fact, tomorrow there'll be a live Secret Show. It'll be posted on the website on Friday, as per usual. Friday by 5 p.m. EST is when Secret Shows are generally posted. So, Secret Show subscribers, thank you for your patience. We're going to get a show out this week for you, and keep your eyes on that over on thenewsjunkie.com. Before we do jury duty, I don't know if I need to play all of the trailer for you or anything, but there's a new movie that they just released a teaser for, and I said, I think I'm kind of a weirdo on some of these. I like these weird movie ideas, and there's a movie that comes to mind. I want to see if you guys pick up on it when I hear this. Do you know the actor Riz Ahmed? R-I-Z.
Sounds very familiar.
A-H-M-E-D is his name. I think if you look at him, you'll recognize him. Riz Ahmed.
Ringing a bell a little bit.
He was from, he's in Nightcrawler. He was in the series The Night Of on HBO, which a lot of people watch.
Yes. Yep. Love him. Cutie.
Which I may be wrong, but The Night Of, I think, had James Gandolfini in it, and it was like held over. Is that right? Or
it was a guy from Big Lebowski, the
John
bowler.
Turturro.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, it was John Turturro was he was the lawyer in that. Riz Ahmed. It was a bunch of people in this production. The Night Of. They did the first one.
I think it was limited series.
It was an 8-part crime drama miniseries on HBO in 2016. And he was the main actor. Sort of like, I don't know if he's Indian or Middle Eastern. Riz Ahmed is the guy's name. Let's see. He was born in London to a family of Pakistani origin. His parents moved to England from Pakistan. So he's of Pakistani and Indian heritage, it looks like. And is connected to, wow, that's cool. He's got a crazy story. He's a descendant of the Shah Muhammad Sulaiman, the first Indian Chief Justice of the High Court.
Cool.
Wow. All right. So, anyways, you might know him if you see him, this Riz Ahmed guy. And he's in this new movie, which I think is kind of a clever idea. Here's the pitch on this. The movie's called Bait. And let me see. It says, this series follows a man. So I can't tell if it's going to be a series or like a movie. I thought it was going to be a movie, but it's called Bait. It says the series follows a man who manages to audition to be the next James Bond, but his life spirals out of control once everybody weighs in on whether he is right for the job. So,
whoa,
the guy, like the movie is about like this guy is going to be the next James Bond, and then people on the internet and people in the James Bond fandom get mad that he's going to be the next James Bond. And it kind of, what does it remind you of any movie that you could think of? Because it gave me vibes of one movie.
Oh, I mean, it sounds like
That sounds
real
like
life.
Yeah,
It sounds like
every
real life.
time.
It gave me vibes of the movie Yesterday for some reason.
The Beatles,
a little bit.
Yeah, or like I don't know why, but like the guy has an incident in his life
Because he's Middle Eastern? Is it?
and maybe he could be. And the guy in Yesterday, if you don't know the movie, he gets like hit by a truck or hit by lightning or something, and then very quickly he realizes that everything's normal in life, but nobody knows who the Beatles are anymore. And there's a couple other things. Like there's some things.
There's
that
no
people have-
cigarettes and there's no Coca-Cola.
Yeah, and like everything else is normal. And he's like, "What, you guys, the Beatles?" And they're like, "No, we don't know. We don't know what you're talking about." So he could sit down with a guitar around a bonfire and be like, "Yesterday, all my troubles seems," and he starts singing, and they're like, "Wow, did you write that?
Did you just write that song?"
Sure, like, sure, yeah. And he becomes mega famous because of it. This one is called Bait. I gotta see if hold on, Bait.
It kind of reminds me of Slumdog Millionaire.
Is it because the Indian guy? The studio-esque comedy, the streamer released, this says it's a TV series. It says upcoming television series written by and starring Riz Ahmed for Amazon Prime Video. And he has an existential crisis because he gets selected to be the next James Bond, and then everybody's mad that he's the next James Bond.
Kind of reminds me of Master of None, you know?
Yeah, I can see that too. Yeah. Struggling actor on the cusp of landing the role of a lifetime finds himself thrust into a full-blown existential crisis and conspiracy at the same time.
Oh my God, like
They say.
Aladdin.
All the same kind of background, these folks. Street rats, all of them. It's an Aladdin song. Okay, I know they changed the lyrics, but it was in Aladdin
Was that
song.
the one they changed?
No, I think Street Rats stayed in.
Yeah.
No,
they said bitch in Part of Your World. That's what they took out.
No. They changed, I'm almost positive, in the Will Smith version, they changed the Street Rats line. I'm almost positive.
I know.
I remember watching that. Oh.
I know they changed in the original theatrical release, and before they even put it on VHS, they changed something about they cut off your hand if they don't like your face. It's barbaric, but it's home or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
This says
slaves to servants.
This says it wasn't removed. In the remake, there was definitely a line that was removed. I know that 100% because I remember watching the Will Smith version with Courtney and being like, "Oh, they changed that," and then went back to the lyrics of the original
They did
one.
Prince Ali, the line "slave servants and flunkies" to 10,000 servants and flunkies, and where it's flat and immense and the heat is intense, to remove violent, potentially stereotypical references to Arabs. It was also changed.
Arabs.
Arabis.
Yeah, so there was, I guess it wasn't that line. Maybe Street Rats is still in there. Well, Street Rats seems more offensive than a lot of the stuff you just said.
Well, I think street rats could be any street in the world.
I think because I thought Aladdin was the street rat. Like, that wasn't because of his. That wasn't because of his nationality. It was because he was poor and he was he stole everything.
But I thought street rat is like an insult. Like you say somebody's a street rat, and it's like, oh.
Well, I don't think anybody says it as the opposite of an insult.
What's up, street rat?
Who's a good little street rat?
Well, people do that with a lot of other stuff. There's all kinds of things that people say that sounds like an insult, and then it's not an insult at all. Like say that's. I'm trying to think of a good example of this. It's not badass because that sounds good still.
Sick.
I'll think of it. Sick, maybe. I don't know. There's examples. I'll find one during the break, and you'll be thrilled to hear this when we come back. of people. People using the N-word to say to each other would be another example of using a negative word and using it in a positive way. That's the most. That's the most intense, extreme example as I can give you. But I think it's probably the best one at the same time. Okay, when we come back, we'll get to the jury duty that I just punted down the road right here, and it includes a lot of stuff, including an update on that Timothy Busfield guy that we've been talking about.
Yeah, street rat.
But more importantly, the biggest street rat of all, this Canadian man who has been arrested. Why? Boy, does he have a story to tell. Wait till you hear this. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you'll need.
All lanes are blocked. Southbound on Alafaya Trail at University Boulevard, there's a serious accident getting cleared up. Northbound lanes are getting affected there as well. Look out for emergency crews on the roadways. There's an accident getting cleared up on the ramp from LPGA Boulevard to I-95 southbound. That's off to the shoulder. See traffic troubles? Call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
This earful of real radio is
Weight loss, and you get Red Mountain weight loss and get on testosterone.
Chad, I need your help.
We're going to give you 1 month of a GLP-1 weight loss medication for absolutely free. That's a $299 value.
I need a song to end on for Today I Learned, but please don't recommend the Street Rat song. I can't end on an Aladdin song. It's just not going to be good. Oh, yesterday. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. It's a game changer. And
oh, my troubles seem so far away.
Testosterone and a GLP-1, it will burn.
Well, today has been full of WTF. Thank you, Sean. Isn't that why you're here? Isn't that why you're here?
Only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Book your video appointment today. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or dial #250 on your phone and say the keyword Red Mountain.
At Galen College of Nursing.
No updates, as I can see, over on Twitch, unless I refresh. We're still at, we need 8 more. Subs, resubs are gifted on Twitch to get to our goal. Stream Manager.
And everything I need to succeed is here. It's here at Galen College of Nursing, and it's here for you too. Visit galencollege.edu/
Follows don't count.
to our next open house.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news.
We need 8 more subs over on Twitch to hit the goal. And then we got to do the YouTube thing. But when we do that, you unlock Ask, and we'll figure out when we're going to do that.
Looking for a workout that doesn't feel like a workout? At Crush Yard, wellness is all about movement, connection, and fun. No matter your skill level, whether you've never picked up a paddle or you play every week, pickleball gets your body moving and your stress levels down.
Florida lawmakers, by the way, have released new rules for e-bikes. E-bikers, under this bill, you would have to keep your license on you at all times while operating an e-bike. And you cannot have pedal assistance once the bike goes over 28 miles an hour. You can't ride on a park path. And you must keep crash data on scooters and e-bikes. They're trying to clean our streets up of these street rats who are riding around on scooters and e-bikes and causing trouble. I think that's good. I think that's an improvement.
Say that keyword free heart scan. They will connect you in seconds. Take advantage of this free heart scan. Just a few minimum requirements. It is a $699.
Sean, we got 10 more subs? No way.
Cancer screening as well because early detection.
No way.
You'll love my friends over at Life Imaging FLA. Get that scan today.
What?
Extend your life for years to
What? Obi-Wan Cannoli with the 10 gifted over on Twitch. Brother, man, bringing it down to 0. -2, really. Obi-Wan Cannoli, thank you so much for the gifted subs. All we have is YouTube. YouTube, you're the biggest in number. All we need is a couple hundred subs, and the after show stream is unlocked. All right? If we don't hit that today, don't worry. We're going to keep going. Wow. Thank you, Obi-Wan Cannoli. Huge.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
For all your plumbing needs, go to modernpi.com.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
So much for hanging out with us. Learn more about the News Junkie, the show, me, C-Lane, Sabrina, everybody. You can learn more about everything happening here on the show and subscribe to the podcast over at thenewsjunkie.com. All right, I want to just dive into this since we didn't work it into the last segment. All you street rats out there who have just been on the edge,
scoundrels,
waiting for the street rats, we've got it for you now. Here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only, the birthday boy, Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go, just call Mo. Our man with a constantly a real excitement for chicken parmesan and the law. And hopefully he'll be in this week to answer our latest questions. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. Here's the deal. You've heard me say this a million times. If you have been in an accident, do not feel bad about getting an attorney. When you are hurt, if your family member is hurt, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, whatever, I know it can seem intimidating, but trust me, it's not. Just get the conversation started and call 800-CALL-MO or go to justcallmo.com. Okay, let's see what we have here. I wanted to go over the charges against that Timothy Busfield guy. Let me set the stage on him again. He was a big figure in Hollywood to some extent. He was involved in movies and TV shows, is it fair to say? And he's now alleged to have had inappropriate contact, to say the very least, with some young boys, 11-year-old twin boys. He's 68 years old, and he's awaiting trial on child sexual abuse charges right now. Now, the latest thing was, in court, his wife had started crying because I guess the judge released him, and his wife was like openly crying. The wife is going to stand by Timothy Busfield and support him throughout this whole thing, it would appear. And I wanted to know, like, what do we know about this as he's been released from jail and he's out there? He's trying to fight back and all that stuff. Here's what we know, all right? Alleged evidence prosecutors have cited. 1, statements from one of the boys. According to a criminal complaint, one of the twins told investigators that Busfield touched his private areas over his clothing on one occasion when he was 7 and another when he was 8 on set. All right, that's one of the statements from the boys that's in this case. Alleged corroboration through therapy records. Prosecutors say the disclosure first came to light during a therapy session, and police later obtained those therapy records during the investigation because you could still use those. Prosecutors are claiming that there were grooming and abuse of authority issues. They argued at a detention hearing the pattern of alleged behavior involved grooming and an abuse of power over time as part of their case to keep Busfield jail pending trial. The judge declined that request. They have recorded audio. Defense attorneys submitted audio recordings of the twins' first interviews with police showing both boys initially said that Busfield did not touch them inappropriately. They said this is an unequivocal denial rather than a delayed disclosure. There was an independent investigation, the defense says, that was commissioned by Warner Brothers that found no corroborating evidence of misconduct. There have been assertions about motive and credibility. So they're saying, like, why did the parents push for this? They think the parents are going after him for retaliation for not getting other roles and stuff. And Busfield reportedly passed an independent polygraph test, which I will remind you folks,
independent
means nothing. A polygraph test, the test is not admissible in court, and it doesn't mean anything that somebody beat one of those.
This is not his first go at touching kids.
No,
as far as being alleged to touch children.
No, a historical allegation from 1999 by a woman says Busfield, Timothy Busfield, the Hollywood guy, inappropriately touched her at Sacramento's B Street Theater when she was 16. That was one claim that was not proven in court. Past claims from the 1990s and in 2012 involving separate alleged incidents, some resolved outside court or not prosecuted, this says. The judge says the evidence against him was neutral and not sufficient to justify keeping him jailed, so they released him on that. But the charges are alleged inappropriate touching.
I wonder that the judge didn't take into consideration that he was seemingly on the run for a minute there.
Couldn't find him.
Is that something? I wonder. That's a Mo question, maybe. Like if somebody is alleged, like let's say C-Lane gets accused of a crime and the police are looking for C-Lane in connection to this crime and C-Lane is not making himself available to the police. Is that something that can be used as evidence that maybe you were guilty? Or you'd say like, look, I was just scared that I was going to get pinned up on these charges that I 100% didn't do. It shouldn't be.
It got to the point of U.S. Marshals getting involved. How is that not evading the police?
But like, let's say somebody comes at you, Sabrina, and they accuse you of murder. And you're like, I did not kill anybody.
Way.
And you start freaking out. They're like, you not only did Sabrina kill this person and murder them in cold blood, but we've got plenty of evidence. She's going to jail for the rest of her life. If you hit the road, Jack, and start hauling ass, and you're like, hey, I'm not going to go to the cops for this. They were going to pin this on me.
Well, there's a warrant for my arrest. That I feel like that's additional charges.
What I'm saying is specifically on the idea that you not presenting yourself to authorities is some sort of admission of guilt. I think it's probably not, would be my guess.
And it's until proven guilty.
I would think that it would be like, hey, this person could have been scared for many other reasons, and that's why they didn't end up showing for this. The other stories in Jury Duty 1, a Canadian man is in trouble. Here's the story. A former flight attendant for a Canadian airline. This is very Catch Me If You Can like. Catch Me If You Can Canadian version. This particular person posed as a commercial pilot and as a working flight attendant to obtain hundreds of free flights from U.S. airlines, authorities said. Dallas Pokornik, 33 of Toronto, was arrested in Panama after being indicted on wire fraud charges in Hawaii last October. He pled not guilty. According to court documents, he was a flight attendant from 2017 to 2019 and then used a fake employee identification from that carrier for a while to go on 3 other airlines. So this guy would get free flights, the jump seat free flights, but he no longer was working for the airline. And that is, I guess, a crime. He did it for 4 years.
Well, it's fraud.
Yeah.
You're obtaining something for free by false means.
And the allegations,
double-checked?
It even mentions it in the Associated Press article. The allegations are reminiscent of Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
The movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio. It tells the story of Frank Abagnale posing as a pilot to defraud an airline and obtain free flights. So there you go. And that guy finds himself in a world of trouble right now. Final story from Jury Duty is one that's making the rounds. Let's see if I have the press conference on this. I just wanted to double check. Oh, shoot. I just accidentally closed the tab. Oh, here it is.
God damn it.
All right.
Reopen, close tab. Reopen, close tab.
Off-duty police officers in the Twin Cities have been targeted by federal agents looking for proof of U.S. citizenship, according to Brooklyn Park Police Chief Mark Bruley. So this is one of the cops in Minnesota saying that the Minnesota police have been targeted. Here he is at the press conference, and then I'll tell you what we know about this.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Mark Bruley, Police Chief of the City of Brooklyn Park. Behind me is a bunch of amazing police chiefs that are here in support of a very short but very important message that we want to share.
Sound like
with
lazy
you.
police chiefs for a second.
What you won't hear from any of us today is rhetoric of abolish ICE or that there shouldn't be immigration enforcement.
Okay.
The truth is, immigration enforcement is necessary for our national security and for local security.
All right, so he's like setting up his bona fides here. He's like, look, I'm not some crazy person. I understand that some of this needs to go on, but he's going to drop a butt.
But how it's done is extremely important. In fact, we have a long history of working exceptionally well with our federal partners, including ICE agents, and we have seen the best of them perform their job extremely well in the past. With that said,
here's the butt.
Recently, as the last 2 weeks, we, as law enforcement community, have been receiving endless complaints about civil rights violations in our streets from U.S. citizens. What we're hearing is they're being stopped in traffic stops or on the street with no cause and being forced to demand paperwork to determine if they are here legally.
Okay.
As this went on over the past 2 weeks, we started hearing from our police officers the same complaints as they fell victim to this while off duty. Every one of these individuals is a person of color who has had this happen to them.
All right. So is a couple of claims there. One is that all the people who are being targeted, and he's saying like harassed by these ICE folks, are all people of color, which I understand the audience that message is for. But when you look at people who are in the country illegally, it's going to be like 80 to 90% of them are what you would call persons of color. It's going to be about like 70 to 80% or so around there that are going to be people from South and Central America who would fall under that banner. So, I mean, yeah, that's going to be the case. That's going to happen all the time. If you're looking for people who are illegal immigrants, the vast majority of them are going to be considered by people to be in the category of person of color. The other thing is, he said, members of law enforcement have said that they themselves were stopped by ICE and they were asked for paperwork. One off-duty officer didn't have paperwork because she's a U.S. citizen. When she became concerned about the rhetoric and the way she was being treated, she pulled out her phone and attempted to record the incident. The phone was knocked out of her hand, said the officer. So the claim is that
that's uncalled for.
These officers were targeted as well. Here's the problem. They won't, for some reason, say who the officer was. They have not come forward with the name of this officer that is making these allegations so they can chase down whether or not this actually happened or not and bring up the body cam footage of it. I don't know why that's the case.
Yeah, you're talking about the ICE body cam.
No. The police officer who claims that they were harassed and targeted by ICE in Minnesota. They said multiple, but at least one of them they said was a police officer who was harassed and she was off duty and she didn't have her paperwork. But they will not give up this person's name, so they can't go any further to check if this story is true or not. And to the Minnesota police officer who's saying all this, say the person's name. If they're a U.S. citizen, there's no threat to them at all whatsoever. And the only thing we can do from here is see if the person's telling the truth or not telling the truth. And if the person's telling the truth and they were harassed for no reason, I'd be interested in seeing that. That seems like bad behavior to me. Or if the story doesn't line up with what you're saying, we'll see that it's a level of dishonesty that's coming from you. But we can't get anywhere because I guess they won't name the person who was involved in this whole thing. That seems a little weird to me, but we'll see what you think about it. All right, let's get to a couple of dispatches because we haven't worked those in. Have we played any? I don't know if we played any dispatches.
Oh, I don't know.
My God.
Email.
All right, here's a couple. Somebody said for Wear the Show Wednesday, DIY, she says. This is her Wear the Show Wednesday. And
that's where they went, huh?
Two magnets taped together in the shape of a top from this particular person. Thank you for your dispatch. That's If You Seek Amy over on the dispatches side of things.
Quite the fridge you have, gal.
Here's Guitar Slinger with Wear the Show Wednesday.
I thought that was a burn victim at the first glance. I'm like, whoa.
I get it. It looks like it.
It was very quick.
It's not. It's a, what do they call these?
The buffs.
A buff? Like a buff during the pandemic where you instead of wearing a mask, wear like a buff.
Or neck gaiter.
A neck gaiter. That's it. That's another term that they use. Boy, there's so many of these. This is Tony rocking his shirt. And
very far away picture, Tony. I appreciate
I don't know
that.
Where Tony is here, but thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
You don't want Tony to get close to you?
No, it's just Tony was like set up the camera in his kitchen and then ran to the end of his living room to get the picture.
Here's Bob's Not My Uncle showing off his Wear the Show Wednesday merch. Thank you, Bob's Not My Uncle. That's a good one. I like
with
that.
you in the background.
Me going.
That's a great still.
Me reacting in the background. Thank you for that. Bob's Not My Uncle. That's my favorite one so far.
Tony's is mine, for sure.
LaDonna shares her merch for Wear the Show Wednesday. Thank you, LaDonna. And I'll do one more. Actually, you know what? Let's get to an actual audio dispatch. Here's Ashbomb, who wants to ask me a question.
Sean, what does your shirt say?
Oh,
I'm trying to figure out what it is, and I can't.
It's hard to tell.
It's like
yeah.
I don't know. I see a C and a P, but I can't tell what the image is. or exactly what the letters are.
Oh,
Help me out.
sorry. Yeah, it's a little faded. My shirt says CCCP, which is a Chinese Communist Party shirt, and it's a space dog. I believe it's a space dog. It's a dog. So it's a cosmonaut. No. What's the Chinese version of astronaut?
China.
Cosmonaut is Russian. China-naut. I don't know what they call them, but it's the Chinese version of an astronaut. It's one of the dogs that they send into space.
Never came back.
No,
they're
they
called
didn't.
Taikonauts.
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 What do they call lesbian
never got
astronauts? Don't
One
say
more. Here is.
Took me a second.
Let's see. Here's Popcorn Fart with a dispatch.
Yoski Chodes, quick check-in. Sean, calm down, ragging on Greenland about these temperatures. I'm out here delivering mail today, and even though the highs are low 40s, tomorrow I think the highs are low 20s or teens, followed by Saturday we're expecting 6 to 12 inches of snow. So calm it down. You
What'd
just
you
also
do?
talked about this massive sweeping snowcade, whatever it is, coming across from Texas all the way through the East Coast to the Carolinas. So come on, buddy. You can't have it both ways. Chill out, or they're gonna keep making fun of us about the fentanyl zombies, and it hurts my feelings.
You took the creed, neither snow nor rain nor heat nor gloom of night.
What's
True.
that from?
That's the post office.
Yeah, Postal Service creed.
Yeah, he's a delivery guy, so he's out there in the snow doing this.
It's gonna suck so bad.
That doesn't make you a snowback, though. You're only a snowback if you live in a place where it's like around 9 months or 10 months of the year it's snowing. You're just a regular person who's getting snowed on. That's all you are.
But what
it's
if
not
it's
the same.
feet of snow?
If it's feet of snow, that sucks for a limited period of time. But the vast majority of our country gets snow at some point. But it's not like unlivable territory, like Canada, perhaps, or Greenland. Very, in my opinion, unlivable territory. I can't live with those temperatures. That's no good. I don't like it. But thank you for the dispatch.
Snowback sounds slurry to
It
me.
is.
Yeah, that's why I'm using it. Yeah,
How about
snowbacks.
snow rat?
Snowbacks is what I call them, and those are people north of the border. All right, that's the people up in Canada, or technically Alaska too. I would have to say you guys are probably on that list as well. They're in uninhabitable, snowy areas, and I don't know why they subject themselves to it. Leave, flee, come to a place that's better, and everybody in the desert should do the same. Okay, when we come back, somebody who's very mad.
Then?
Yeah, legally, please. Legally emigrate, please. Make sure you've got some skill sets, too. We have a person who's very mad at ESPN for showing them during the national title game. I don't believe this person at all, but they say that they're very mad about this. We'll bring you that in just a moment. And a whole lot more. I got clips galore. We'll see how many of these clips that I've got that we can work in before the end of the show, too. A lot on the way as we continue on Aware the Show Wednesday. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
That crash has been cleared up and traffic's starting to get by now on Alafaya Trail at University Boulevard. That accident's off to the shoulder now. Just look out for emergency crews still on the roadways. Afternoon traffic starting to pile up on I-4 westbound heading through the city. There's slowdowns approaching that 408 interchange and congestion on I-4 between Dr. Phillips and Celebration starting to form, so just travel with caution. See traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance is making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
Where there was Daytona Speedway, the Legends of Racing tore down the beach right here at the North Turn and Ponce Inlet.
And today, that legacy roars on at Racing's North Turn, voted best beach bar on the coast.
Grab a drink, dig into fresh local seafood and hand-cut steaks, and soak in those killer Atlantic views.
Don't miss Race Week at Racing's North Turn. Catch the famous Legends Parade with Grand Marshals Ernie Irvin and Jeff Bodine, plus appearances by Mike.
What? School mic activated. I don't know about this story. Breaking news. Breaking news. I'll give you a goal update in just a bit here. Breaking news. President Trump's son, Barron Trump, is being credited with saving a woman's life after she was being attacked by her ex-boyfriend in the UK. The woman told a London court that Barron Trump's quick thinking saved her life. According to the report, 22-year-old whoever became jealous of his girlfriend's friendship with Barron and started assaulting her. Barron reportedly picked up a FaceTime call to see this person beating his friend. Barron then jumped into action, calling 999 and telling operators his friend was being assaulted. Barron Trump said, "I just got a call from a girl I know. She's getting beaten up. She called me. I picked up the phone expecting a nice hello or something," he told the police. "I just saw a ceiling and I could hear screaming, and I saw a guy's head on the phone who was hitting her. I called you guys. That was the best thing I could do. I wasn't going to call back and threaten things to him because that would just make things worse. He helped save my life," she said. "That call was like a sign from God at the moment." Barron Trump, the hero? Question mark. Crazy. A peace prize for Barron too. All right, let's do an overview, folks. We have our first goal this week, and so far you guys have done very well. The goal was to get, I think, 15 or so secret shows subs, 12-ish. Done. Blew it out of the water. In the first hour of the show, you did that many. You blew it out of the water. The Twitch goal was to get, I think, 12 or 13 subs. Twitch coming through in the clutch, including Obi-Wan Kenobi with 10 gifted subs. Blew it out of the water. Hit the goal. Now it's just YouTube. We need to get YouTube to 27,500. That's it. 27,500 subs on YouTube, and we will unlock Ass. What's Ass? An after-show stream, which means we'll do a couple hours after-show stream. You guys can choose whether it's during a weekday after the show or a weekend, Saturday or Sunday. We'll agree on like a time and whatever day you guys want, and we'll do a bonus stream for a couple hours. Fully uncensored. Bootsy says, "Is there anything this family can't do?" I like the idea that I could call 911 and be a hero just for that. I've done that before. We're 200 subs away on YouTube.
Guys, you know what? If your T is low, you got low testosterone, it's time to get your edge back with Red Mountain.
YouTubers, now's the time. Hit that like button on the stream. That's easy to do. That helps out every single day. Let's go over, hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, to any of you watching, first of all, thank you. Thanks for hanging out with us every single day. Thanks for leaning on me to do the viral news for you each day for at least 4 hours. Give me a thank you by hitting that subscribe button. All right?
You know what I mean? It's Red Mountain weight loss. Don't be fooled. Nothing boosts testosterone like actual testosterone. It's a game changer, and you're going to look better, you're going to lose weight, and remember, you get a combo of testosterone and a GLP-1. It will burn.
See, far less knowledgeable and capable people get tens of thousands on both platforms. I mean, I'm over here just treading water, baby. Trying to get through it.
Or dial #250 on your phone.
Is the show going to show ass as well? I won't be physically showing you my ass, but there will be an ass. Sunday is championship day? Oh, I'm not talking about this Sunday necessarily. We're all going to agree. All right? We'll put up a vote. We'll put up a poll. We're going to agree on the perfect time for this. Weekend, weekday, whatever. All right, we're coming back.
Lives on iHeartRadio.
And Denver's going to the AFC Championship game.
From the official NFL Podcast Network.
Welcome to NFL Daily.
Fox Sports Radio.
And now you have Denver without Bo Nix and you got Jared Stidham.
Or local stations that bring you the games live.
Ball's intercepted, and the Broncos have it at their own 40.
This is 24/7 coverage of everything you love about football.
Just open the iHeartRadio app and search NFL to dive in.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Check. 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 Enter it now at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Where breaking news meets broken people. This is the News Junkie.
I'll tell you what's going on here in just a moment. Join us on the show. This is the News Junkie, the world's most viral newsroom, and we love hanging out with you. Forget the same three songs over and over and over again. Hang out with the three best friends you never knew you had, going through the most viral stories of the day. There's a story today about this woman who says she's upset that ESPN put her on television. I do not believe her, but she says that she's upset. She's apologizing over her viral appearance during the national title game.
Why is she apologizing? Why is it viral? It was a crowd shot, right?
It was a crowd shot, random crowd shot, and it's
I
all
don't know
about
how random. There's some speculation on how random behind the scenes this may have been.
This is going to sound like I'm playing a game or like I'm pretending to be out of touch with something. I'm being as honest as I possibly can with you guys right now. This was a woman by the name of Bella Danger.
Sounds like it's her real name.
A distraught woman named Bella Danger insists she would, quote, give anything in the world to not have been picked out by ESPN in the crowd at Monday's college football playoff final. The famous porn star.
Okay. I mean, did you not think that when you read the name?
Real name Amira Day has issued an apology to anybody that I offended. But she's a student at Miami. Like, it totally makes sense for her to be at the game. She's a student at the university.
Yeah.
She doesn't do adult films any longer. And
but goes by Danger still.
I guess so. It says the site of Danger, who's now a student at Miami after leaving the adult film industry at Hard Rock Stadium, caused a stir online, with some users taking aim at ESPN for showing her on the broadcast. The network has captured her at Hurricanes
we paid
games
for that, man.
in the past, including during their playoff win over Texas A&M earlier in the season. However, Danger has been left devastated, I'm sure, devastated by her cameo on an even bigger stage, even apologizing on behalf of ESPN for being shown during the national title game. I would give anything in the world to have not had ESPN film me, and I'm so deeply sorry to anybody I offended with my attendance at the game. And then it shows her at the game. She's even the woman, I believe, that was like crying afterwards that I played the clip of, who was crying because Miami lost.
And she just kept her hand over her mouth.
I can't take it anymore. I have never heard of this person in my life. I have no idea who they are.
I don't know.
Maybe it's because I don't know. I don't know adult film stars like that. I don't think I could name two. If like the ones I would name would be so old that I could.
Same.
Like Mia Khalifa, who I think is kind of famous for like only doing it for a short period of time, a long time ago.
Johnny
and I only know
Silver something.
She's gone viral a whole bunch of time. Johnny Sins. Johnny Sins. Because Sabrina and I both went to a website where they used to post the guy nonstop for some reason.
And also at other things like music leaks. Let's just be clear.
I don't know any of these people. I don't know. But I guess people still do. And
I would love to hear from porn stars that listen to the show. I think we only know of one.
There's got to be some. I don't know what constitutes that anymore. Does that mean like you're
an adult?
The word star, does it imply that you're making money? Does it imply that
an adult performer?
Well, I know that, but like if somebody goes like, "There's a video of me and my girlfriend, and I posted it on one of those tube sites," and
you get a check.
Like, yeah, is it your sole source of income?
I do think the word star has been thrown out way too much. They're way too generous with the term.
But if you do well one time, that's a one-hit wonder, is it not?
But I don't know anything about her, but I do know that Sealand was doing some research to find out where this Bella Danger lady came from, who's upset with ESPN.
This is the first I've heard that she was upset with ESPN. I saw a post yesterday. No, of course not.
Yeah.
I saw a post yesterday that said somebody was like, well, the producer is going to jail for this. And I was like, what did the producer do? And so I went and I was like, oh, he's joking, like, send this guy to jail for making all the guys nervous when this woman came on the screen and they had to pretend like they didn't know who she was. And I was like, but I don't know who she is. So I went through the comments and finally somebody, put her Instagram handle on there. And I was like, oh, and then it even took me a little more scrolling to find out that she was like what did they call her? Like a Brazzers,
baby.
No, ambassador. Brazzers ambassador.
Yeah, I wouldn't know any of those people.
But is that the picture that ESPN posted? Because
this is
like
pictures she posted.
Is this maybe they have a photo of during the? Oh, this is during the game.
Yes.
This is what she looks like during the game. There's just a woman in the crowd. Like I think she's clearly
also full beat. You're wearing all the makeup. So what?
Yeah,
it's not like you weren't ready for the cameras.
I think she's clearly taking this as a moment to be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, my appearance offended so many people." To give it the attention that it's getting. She's just trying to get more attention out of the whole thing.
Marketing, baby.
But she doesn't work in the industry anymore. See, here, that's the video that we played of her crying.
Mm-hmm.
That's her Instagram video after Miami.
Now, she may not be putting out new content, but she's certainly having a lot of traffic to her page after this.
Yeah,
maybe.
She didn't want the attention on ESPN, but she wanted the attention from the self-crying video that she posted.
Yeah, and also, my favorite thing is that they, in the gallery from this post on Daily Mail, they included at the end 2 of the Miami Hurricanes football players, and it says, she watched on as her beloved Hurricanes suffered a painful defeat to the Indiana Hoosiers. This
can't even see her; it's blurred.
No, she's not even in this one. I don't think this is. They just wanted to show a photo of the Hurricanes losing. They just wanted to put that in there as well, just so you know, everybody. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna take a quick break. We did get another submission for Wear the Show Wednesday. Here's Tanya wearing some gear as she visits her dad. And there they are. That's together. Thank you, Tanya.
Hey,
looking great. Love this shirt. Look at that sucker holding up the color after all these years. Thank you, Tanya. You're the best.
Talk about her dad.
When we come back, we'll get to a couple of things. One, we'll do the final dispatches. We'll do the stories that didn't make the cut. We'll do the final folks who sent in these Wear the Show Wednesday photos. And we'll do Today I Learned to Wrap Everything Up for a Wednesday. That is all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Classic Alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1. Real Music Weekends. Our Classic Alternative.
This weather report.
Afternoon highs will be climbing well into the low 70s. It'll be very pleasant under a mostly sunny sky. High of 73 degrees today in Orlando. We'll see some slow increasing clouds as the afternoon and evening wears on, ahead of a couple of rain chances on the way for tomorrow. That'll be out ahead of a big time warm up with highs near 80 by the end of this week. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold
millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
All right, we'll be back to wrap everything up on the show in just a moment. We have a lot to get to in a short amount of time, so I'm excited to get to that. But first, I do want to tell you about my favorite company in Central Florida. And it's a story of a guy who wanted to do things right. He wanted to start a company where he was fair to people, honest to people. And those are things that are important to me. And if fairness and honesty in a company that you pay your money is important to you, I would encourage you when something goes wrong with your AC, especially when it's cold like this and you kick that heater up, or when you want to stay comfortable and your AC is not working, call Mills Air. Mills Air. Mills Air is the best. They've been around for over 30 years. They have the techs that know exactly what they're doing. They've fixed your problem before. Time and time again, they've done it. And if it's a $5 part, it's a $5 part. Honesty, that's what they strive to deliver to you over at Mills Air. So here's the number, 407-277-1159. That's 407-277-1159. Or find them online at millsair.com.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. We offer HELOCs and home equity lines of credit with scores as low as 640. Find out if you're qualified today at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
With thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th.
Planet Fitness is the official fitness center of the Orlando Magic and Orlando Solar Bears.
See club for details.
iHeartMedia presents the Fresh from Florida Groceries Giveaway. 50 lucky winners will each receive a $100 grocery voucher to indulge in Fresh from Florida goodness. Enter to win at iHeart.com/freshfromflorida.
Here's something most of us don't want to think about, but probably should. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here for our friend Mike Lester and the team at Talon Wealth Management.
That thing we don't want to talk about is a will. If you don't have one, Mike and his team would like to help you out. They'll start you off with a comprehensive financial plan.
If you are 55 or...
Folks, great work, great work. Honestly, Twitch and the Secret Shows gifters, huge work today. So proud of you. Only the YouTube goal remains, and we'll narrow that down tomorrow. We'll get it before you know it. YouTubers, you can help out right now by, for free, subscribing. Doesn't cost you a dime. Just go over and hit subscribe on the channel. And send the link to a friend. Tell them to subscribe too. Why not? Real quick, I got to go get Today I Learned. But I want to tell you. What? Oh my God. You all win. Everybody wins Shower of the Day. Everybody wins Shower of the Day.
Aching fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Whether you're new to nursing or looking to advance your degree, Rasmussen University offers a range of programs to help you answer the call for nurses. Because when you're ready to care for others, we're ready to help you get there. Learn more at rasmussen.edu.
They're best friends, unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's the
that didn't make the cut. And today we're going to wrap everything up for a Wednesday. And thank you all for being with us here. If you missed any of the show, go over to the website, thenewsjunkie.com. Subscribe to the podcast, do all that good stuff. Thank you, Street Rats, for being with us today. Every one of you. Just so glorious, more so than the next. We love you. We appreciate you. And thank you. Now let's see what we have on the way out. I'll be honest with you. I just ran into the studio as fast as I could because I looked down.
You got the tickets for the thing?
I did not. No, I failed on all fronts today. Really, just swing and a miss. But I looked down and I saw there was 30 seconds before we were coming back from break, and I didn't have Today I Learned or anything, so I had to I was hoofing it out there as fast as I could. Let's see if there's anything we need to play before we get out of here. I don't know if we do. Let's see. We don't need this.
One more thing? One more?
We'll play a dispatch here in a moment. Some of these aren't censored. Some of them perhaps will be relatable tomorrow. If not, I'll toss them. We'll get new stuff. But right now, instead of all of that, here's what we're going to do. We'll do the final dispatches while we have some time.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
True. No, not today. Not true. False. Absolutely false. Here's what we have on the way out. We got a few more people. Sean Patrick's Day is showing off his merch here on Aware of the Show Wednesday.
Cute, fun.
Good to see you, bud. Like that. A lot of people have that shirt. That's a good one. Here is our friend Mo Manji, the realtor.
Hey, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Hold on. I think C-Lane's calling me. Now Sabrina's calling me. Dang, now Sean's calling me. What'd you guys talk about in the previous segment, man? Thanks. Bye.
A person to offload a kilo? He's
no.
All right. Well, wink, wink, Mo Manji.
I think it was the Indian movies.
Oh!
I think it was to offload a kilo.
Well, gosh, Mo Manji, you gotta.
It was at 19 after, not this hour.
Maybe
last
it's both.
Hour. So that would have been right after we talked about the drugs.
It was because all over the texting service there were guesses on who we would call. No, not Fritz. Not Taco Bob. I mean, not that I know of, but people were guessing those people. And then somebody was just saying, call me. Some of these people were like, I'm the one. If you find square groupers, send them my way.
All right. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. And I'll keep that in mind, Mo Manji. And let's go to Bad Beard.
All right, guys. So this is a scenario I've played out in my head every time I am in the ocean. Like, oh, man, I come across one of them square groupers out there. I'm not calling the police. I'm not letting anybody know that bad boy's going underneath the shirt or in the duffel bag, in the backpack, in the shorts. I don't care. It's
Under
coming
your
home
shirt.
with me.
Hey, he swims with a shirt
I know
on.
immediately how to get rid of it and where to get rid of it. Sign me up. Yes, please. Where can I find these square groupers? And yes, I'll be getting rid of them.
You're never going to find them. It's just not going to happen for you. But
People like you aren't the ones that find them.
No, it's always like some old lady or something. This is somebody, or it was the one boat captain who got arrested for selling some of this stuff. This person said they found some before. Let's see if they're lying. J-Bones.
Sure, I know somebody I could dump one on, but I don't think that guy found anything. Because the most we ever found while I was growing up was maybe 2 or 3 at a time over the course of an entire summer.
But in one summer?
Maybe 2 or 3 years out there. And my grandparents lived in Fort Pierce on North Hutchinson Island. Happens all the time.
I know it happens. I wouldn't say it happens all the time, number one. And I would say the amount of people that stumble upon drugs floating up onto the shore, or if they're on a boat, they see them out there in the water, it's not a big number. It's not a big number because they don't want you to find that. You know, there's a lot of money in this whole business, as you know. I'm not telling you anything new here, but I don't think it's that common occurrence. But if you found multiple things washing up on shore during one summer, good for you. Jeez. Here's IVF mix-up. Flip has a comment on that one.
So I'm trying to figure out if I'm a psychopath, an asshole, or I don't know. I don't consider
Maybe both.
myself either, but this may prove me wrong. But the whole time you're talking about these couples and the babies being mixed up, I'm thinking, okay, so my ideal situation would be, okay, my wife and I, we go through this process, have a black baby. That's weird. Okay, we get all the testing done. She didn't cheat and all that sort of thing. We're good. It just was a mix-up. Okay, give us our money back. We're going to keep the baby unless if we find out that the other family also had, like, let's say the black family had the white baby, had our baby.
Switcheroo, right? But you still want money. And that's why there's a lawsuit in this case. If you missed this couple had a baby, and they were so excited that all the health checks were okay, things were going great, they were over the moon. The woman gives birth, and the doctor goes to hand the newborn baby to her, and the white parents go, well, there is a problem. There has been a bit of a switcheroo, and now they're suing the IVF place. It's such an awkward position to be in for them for a bunch of different reasons. Okay, that's it for the dispatches today. And let's see, stories that didn't make the cut. Do we have anything? On the Anna Kepner front, I know this is not really related, but just worth mentioning. In the cruise world, a young man was found dead on Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas while it was in a port in Singapore. And he was in his 20s, 27-year-old man was found motionless and pronounced dead at the scene by the ship's in-house doctor. They do not yet expect foul play, but of course, these young people dying on a cruise ship, it's going to set off some alarm bells like it did with Anna Kepner. Still no charges on that front. Waiting for updates there. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Here we go. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. Today I learned these two guys in a band.
Hello, darkness. Simon and Simon and G.
Simon and Garfunkel, that's correct. Yes, Simon and Garfunkel.
Whoops.
In your defense, Garfunkel's a weird-ass last name. Simon and Garfunkel were also known as Tom and Jerry before becoming the duet that dominated the 60s and beyond. Tom and Jerry did not catch on for them. Simon and Garfunkel did a bit more, it appears. Probably a good switch. Yeah, Tom and Jerry would be a little confusing, what with the cartoon and stuff these days. Today I learned in 2024, bots for the first time made up a bigger proportion of global internet traffic than humans in 2024.
Oopsie
More robots
daisy.
out there than actual human beings on the internet. And remember that when you're reacting to a bunch of comment threads or you're on some social media platform and you see a bunch of people arguing with each other, there's a good chance at least some of those people are bots, that they are not real individuals, and that they're probably cooked up by somebody just to get us to fight with each other a little more. Today I learned this lady right here. Pink is correct. Pink the singer. She got her stage name, Pink, due to her resemblance to Steve Buscemi's character Mr. Pink in Reservoir Dogs. I have not seen this. Let me see.
Interesting.
Pink versus Mr. Pink. Is that? I wonder if anybody's done that.
I don't think so. I
I
thought it was her
see-
pink hair.
I don't think she looks like Steve Buscemi personally.
I don't think that a lot of people will disagree with you.
I mean, that's what she said she got the name from. She found that she looked like him. I can't find Pink. Hold on, Pink the singer versus Mr. Pink. I don't see anybody doing like a side by side of them, which would be very helpful. But I guess we'll have to take her at her word on that one. Today I learned there's a prison in Utah. The name of the prison is Purgatory, which does not sound inviting, which is the absolute goal of that to begin with. And finally, let's get the hell out of here, everybody. Today I learned this song right here. Yesterday, that's correct. The Beatles, Yesterday. This here is the most covered song in history. It has been covered more than 2,200 times by anyone from Liberace, Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, Boyz II Men. They've all put their spin on one of these songs. Joan Baez and Vogue, and on it goes. Even Daffy Duck did a cover of the Yesterday song.
I want to hear that.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. It's pretty accurate, I bet. Well, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Miss any of the show?